Welcome guys, welcome to Hellstormwargaming and welcome to the semi-final of the London Grand Tournament of the 40k style, of the 40k-ness. My name is Mikey, I'm joined with Elliot. Hi Elliot.
That's me.
That is you. You're looking very nice today.
Thank you, it's my Sunday best.
Sunday best.
Sunday best stream.
Yes, I'm not wearing Sunday best, I'm wearing Inner Peace. One of the custom designs that I made on the shirt store. So Inner Peace.
This is part of the Big Push initiative.
Hashtag the Big Push. We are trying to hit 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, so make sure you do check it out. We are live streaming all day. This is game 4 of the London Grand Tournament Open. A total of 400 players in this event this weekend. This is round 4.
Pretty crazy scenes.
Quite a few winners so far, but we have 4 potential winners on the tables today. We're going to be covering 2 tables. We've already streamed a total of 7 games of 40k this weekend. 7 games so far.
Well,
last night we had the
7.
7. What are you going to say about
more?
that? We've already streamed 7. We've got 2 more today.
2 games at a time.
Yeah, we are streaming 2 tables at a time, indeed. So we actually streamed 14 games of Warhammer.
13 because the final was on its own.
Of course, 13.
Maths on a Sunday morning,
it's
everyone.
Sunday morning. It is 20 to 10. I am not quite awake yet. So last night, Friday we had the Invitational Knockout. Yep. 4 rounds, 32 players are the best players from around the world. If you want to watch any of those games back, you can go to our VODs, or we will be uploading to our YouTube channel on Monday.
Yep.
So we had 4 games on Friday, we had 4 games yesterday, 3 of this main event, and then the invitational final between Joshua Deff and Conrad Bartkwitz, and Conrad took the win, the first person to win 2 London
I'm still
GT
nervous
events.
from that game, and I wasn't playing.
Yeah? Still a bit like, ooh.
Some touch and go moments.
Exactly, yeah. So today what we have is 2 more games. 4 players who could potentially win the event. We have Manny Cheema versus Mark Cromblehome, and who have not been on the stream yet, but then we've got 2 players who have been on stream. We've got Mr. Tom Leighton, who played the first round of the Invitational against Nick Nanavati, and James Ramsey with the horde of Imperial Fist intercessors.
So many of them. He's got a demi-company of those
so we've got the
boys.
Horus Heresy reenactment versus Eldar versus Eldar. So it's Imperium versus Eldar.
I will say that...
Well, it's not, though. It's Imperium versus Imperium and Eldar versus Eldar. But which game's going to be better?
I think Manny's out for blood. Manny didn't do as well in the Invitational as he probably would have hoped to do.
No.
Nice crack.
Thanks. Needed it.
Rip headphone users. So I think Manny's out for blood, isn't he? He's played well this weekend. I mean, obviously he's up here on the top tables. So
he's Batman-y today. He's got a onesie with it as a Batman. So there you go. Take that as what you will. He wears that a lot. I hope he watches it.
He has a load of flyers.
Yeah.
Right? Now, what's interesting about Crombleshome's list,
yes,
as we will get to, is he's got grotesques.
He's got a lot of grotesques.
Which can't
do
do
a couple of flies
anything.
as well, and some Death Jesters, and some Skyweavers, which can do stuff, but the grotesques are on the ground. They're going to have to try and kill all of Manny's ground troops to table him, essentially. So why don't we cut to table 1? Let's go and have a look at Manny and Mark's game, because they're just starting to play. So here we are on table 1. So you can see we've got Mark versus Manny. Manny starting to deploy. It is hammer and anvil deployment, and the mission is what's yours is mine. And what's mine is yours.
What does that mean?
So
tell me what that means.
If
I don't know, I'm guessing some of the streams.
We have 5 objectives, 1 in the centre, and the players place 2 themselves. And what you have to do is try and grab the objectives that you place. So you place 2 each, and if you hold both of the 2 you place, one of them has to be in your opponent's deployment zone, one can be anywhere else on the board.
Okay.
You get an extra bonus point. It's ITC, so it's kill more, hold more. And also Manny has gone for gangbusters, so kill the grotesque. He's gone for recon to be all over the board, and then Mark for death. So he's choosing 4 units, and they will be the... if he kills, they usually he gets a point. This is Mark, who has gone for engineers, so hide and don't die and don't do anything and hold an objective. He's gone for pick your poison and a recon.
Which makes sense, right? Those grotesques just want to survive this game.
Exactly. The grotesques aren't going to do much, so at least if they're just there, they're getting points too.
You can turn, so that's what I like about ITC. You can turn potentially useless units into
doing something.
Actually
Getting a couple of cheeky points, yeah. So, shall we go through Manny's list first, just quickly? It is an Eldar fly spam, so it's going to be quite quick. We have a Samham battalion, which is a Farseer with Falchi's Wing and with Doom and Guide, and we have a Warlock Skyrunner with Protect and Jinx, who is the Warlord. We have a unit of 15 Guardian Defenders, a unit of 15 Guardian Defenders, a unit of 14 Guardian Defenders, all with Shuriken Cannon heavy weapon platform. And then we have a fast attack of 9 Scatterlaser Wind Riders, which are a really popular choice in the Eldar list.
Yeah, you've seen a lot of these, haven't we?
Yeah, so Samhan lets you move and ignore the heavy movement penalty for heavy weapons. So they're going to be hitting on 3s all the time. But they've got 54 shots, I think. Oh no, 56 shots.
56 shots.
No, maybe not. They've got 4 shots each, I think.
He's struggling with the Sunday maths.
Yeah, Sunday mass.
I don't blame you.
Yeah. It's a lot of shots. It's a lot of shots. So shuriken cannons, scat lasers are really good. And then we have a Craft World Air Wing, which is a Crimson Hunter Exarch Air Wing, because it's 3 of them with pulse lasers and star cannons. Very, very popular choice. Star cannons being the multiple shots. And then we have the Cabal of the Black Heart detachment, which is 3 Razor Wings and 2 Void Raven bombers. So. Yeah, popular choice. Razor Wings are really good, but Void Ravens are really good, and also you get access to vector stop stratagems.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now everyone seems very upset about the list choices that people have made, but this is competitive 40k.
Sometimes this happens.
We've had this discussion on the stream. If the lists are strong, you're not going to not take them to kind of make some moral standpoint. If something's strong, you're going to take it, right? You want to be the best player in the world. Use it. If it's there, if it's in the meta, if it's legal, do it.
Yeah. Again,
unfortunately, we're kind of hampered because these are the guys that are on the top tables. So.
Yeah. Last night we saw Joshua Death versus Conrad. That was a bit of a fly spam, but that was a super cool game to watch, I thought.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really one of the best games I've ever commentated over. So obviously these are some of the potential winners who could win the event this weekend. However, there is a lot of people on 3 wins so far. So why don't we hear from Tank, our roving reporter, copyright The Honest Wargamer, who's going to tell us more about what's happening at the rest of the event so far.
Good morning, everyone. Report to you from the floor. As Mikey was just saying, there's you're seeing some of the top undefeated players on the stream this morning, but there's a lot of players playing on the floor behind me that are still well in the hunt to win this with sort of high points and still undefeated. Some even sort of on higher points than these guys you're seeing on the stream. So on top table we've got Malik Rubio with his triple Caladius tank commander. And he's got a Relic Scorpius and some Dreadnoughts, like a really efficient Imperium gunline. He's playing Boris Mitchev with a different flavour of gunline, a Bad Moon Met Gun gunline. Boris has won the role to go first and he's taking it. Both players really wanted first in that one. Boris just commented to me that he's pleased to go first, but it's orc shooting, so it's going to be swingy. But I'll let you know how that one goes. Anthony Chu with his Eldar flyer list is playing against James McKenzie with a GSC. James McKenzie, a very good GSC player, but it's a terrible matchup for GSC. James says he's got a plan and some tricks up his sleeve, but he acknowledges he's fighting an uphill battle. James Chu won the role to go. Anthony Chu, I'm sorry. Chewie won the role to go first, and he gave James first turn, which obviously James did not want. We've got a Brian Pullen with a triple Riptide list playing against Mike Whitley with Ultramarine successors in a brigade. Those guys were just getting set up as I went by. Mike Whitley won the role to go first, and he was pleased about that and took it. Martin Bush with his Orcs is playing against Marcus Hinson with his sort of signature triple knight list. Martin won the role to go first and he's taking it. He was telling me that he really needs his shock attack gun to roll well and put in work for him to have a chance in that game. Patrick Sanfilippo is playing Stephen Box in a sort of rough mirror match, marine on marine. Stephen Box has got a bit more shooting in his list. Patrick's got Gilliman, who can sort of come out and cause some trouble in combat late game, so that'll be interesting. Patrick won the role to go first and he's taking it, and the guys were just starting the turn, so I'll keep an eye on that one for you. Nick Nanavati with his GSC has been paired into Richard Guatkin with triple knights and 2 Punisher tank commanders. Obviously an excellent matchup for the GSC playing against knights, although potentially the Punisher tank commanders will force Nick to be cautious with all that anti-infantry. Richard won the role to go first, but gave Nick first turn, which obviously Nick did not want. So I'll keep an eye on that one for you. Nick had taken sort of mind control on 2 of his psychers, looking to maybe mind control one of the knights. But Richard is kind of cute to this, and we'll probably see him trying to keep units within 1 inch of those knights at all times so they can't shoot each other. So I'll send you back to the stream and Mikey and Elliot and speak to you later.
So there we go. Thank you very much, Tank. So hopefully now Tank can go and find out who's in the top run-ins and some points so we know exactly what the placings are so far. So we're just back on table 1. I'm going to quickly go through Mark's list. So he has a battalion of Prophets of Flesh, very, very popular, super strong. Everyone has a 4+ invuln. He's got Yuri and Rakov with Casket of Flenging, who is the Warlord trait, so he can get plus D3 command points before the game begins. He's got Homunculus, he's got 3 units of 5 Racks, and then he's got 3 units of 7 Grotesques. Very, very popular choice, competitive 40k at the minute.
Yeah.
So toughness 5, 4 wounds each. They have a 4+ invuln. They do mortal wounds in combat unless it's a vehicle, and loads and loads of attacks. And obviously near the characters they'll get +1 strength and +1 toughness.
Yeah. Dark Eldar obviously still strong.
They're still very strong as a mono
They've
faction.
been strong all the way for 8th edition, haven't they? They've not.
Yeah. Dark Eldar have always been a bit in a funny place, like 4th and 5th edition when they had the bike spam. They were doing really well. And 6th and 7th edition when they were all Ynnari bike spam. And now in 8th edition they've gone, actually we're not selling mini Talos or Grotesque, so shall we make them good?
Make them really
and then
strong.
Everyone's converted them out of other models because Grotesque are £15 per model. They're actually converted from the Flesh Eater Court style models, the big zombie dudes.
Yeah.
Then we have a flyer detachment of 3 Razor Wings, all with disintegrated cannons. And then the Vanguard detachment of Harlequins. So we have a Shadow Seer, 3 Death Jesters, and 6 Skyweavers with Haywire. So that's his anti-tank shooting, the Haywire. 6d6 shots of Haywire.
Yeah.
Which is going to be really good. Obviously not quite as good anymore because he can't be buffed with Doom to re-roll. But, you know, it's still a lot of Haywire shots. Might be able to take out a plane, and then he can also charge them as well. So, and the Death Jesters can snipe characters. So there you go. So there are 2 lists on the table 1. Now we got some interesting stuff about table 1, Elliot. Have we heard some inside intel?
So
Tony, what's your name? Thank you very much for following.
So essentially, we just talk about the Warlord traits and relics.
Go for it, man.
Yeah. So we have the Vex Mass on
the Vector Mask on the Homunculus, which means when he ignores Overwatch, and also in the fight phase, he's choosing a unit. That unit is going to have to fight last.
Nasty. And then his trait is the Diabolical Soothsayer.
Yeah, so that's Yuri and Rakov's Warlord trait, so you'll gain D3 command points before the game begins, which is super good. So.
Interesting. And then over on Manny's side, so he's choosing the Warlock to be his Warlord. So he's going to re-roll 1 Psychic test per turn.
Okay.
And the Farseer has the Relic Wings.
Yeah, he has Peach's dress, Foul Choose Wing. I always imagine when I use Foul Choose Wing, it's just, do you know, like Peach on Super Smash Bros. Where she floats down with her skirt and she's just flying around?
Oh, that was a different song.
That was the wrong song.
That was Hunter Hunter.
Yeah, it was. So there you go. So that's table 1, but we're not only covering table 1.
We're not only covering table 1. Don't worry, there is fly spam here, but we're going to go now to
yeah, we don't just like
my favourite matchup.
So we're going to go play some 30. We're going to go to 30k because it's a Horus Heresy reenactment in 40k ruling.
It
is Ramsey versus Tom. It is Intercessor Spam versus Imperial Might.
This needs to be on a Mars map right now. This needs to be House Tyrannus.
Get that man a Mars
Actually,
map.
House Tyrannus were loyalists as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
The Legio Mortis.
Yeah.
So, they're brothers.
So here we are. We have Tom Leighton versus James Ramsey. It is Imperial Knights. It is 3 Thunderfire Cannons and an Admech Rusty 17 to give command points. Versus James with just so many intercessors. Shall we have a quick run down an actual view of the lists? Let's go for Tom first, if I can find him. If you want to see the list, you can find all of these lists on BCP. So we have a Spearhead with Sergeant Cronus and 3 Thunderfire Cannons and a Whirlwind Hyperios with the Hyperios launcher. So really good at killing stuff out of sight, long range, easily being able to use suppression fire, shoot twice with a couple of those whirlwinds and stuff. And also being able to use tremor shells to slow stuff down. Then we've got a super heavy detachment of House Tyrannus. He's got 3 Crusaders, 3 whole Crusaders.
Yeah, they're strong, aren't they?
Yeah, they're really good. They're really good in combat anyway, with the feet at strength 8, -2 and D3 damage, but then so many guns. Should say that one of the Crusaders is the Warlord. I'm sure we'll be able to find out which one is which. But the Warlord has Endless Fury, so the better Gatling Cannon, and Iron Bulwark, so 4+.
If this was me, I'd be at the back.
Yeah, I would agree. Just to deny him points. And then we have the Battalion of Admech, which is 2 Tech Priest Engine Seers at 30 points each. 3 units of 5 Skitarii Rangers. So just there, just to get him an extra CP and power those Imperial Knights. So as you've seen, we then have it's versus the yellow blob of stuff and things. We saw this list yesterday.
Sorry, Mike. I know I'm being very quiet. It's because
all
I've got lots of updates coming in.
Yeah. So what did you think to this list yesterday? What James is using? You actually commentated on that game, didn't you?
Absolutely love it. As someone who has read all the Horus Heresy books, and that is going on my CV. All 54 of the novels and the novellas, just finished them.
Yeah.
I love Space Marines.
You love Space. I love Space Marines.
Them.
I love Space Marines.
Space Marines are why I
the best.
got into the hobby. They were my first army.
Yeah, hashtag
always been a Blood Angel. I will always be 9th Legion.
Blood Ravens are better. That's cool.
Codex Sega. We won't get into this, but
got more rules
I
than you.
absolutely love seeing the big blob of Space Marines. I think it's mint.
This is
here
wicked.
at a competitive tournament.
Doing really well, 3-0.
I am as hard as power armor for this.
So let's quickly go over the list. We've got an Imperial Fist Indomitus Crusade Battalion. We have a Primaris Lieutenant and Chaplain. Then we have not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 6 units of 10 intercessors.
Yes!
One of the units have bolt rifles, the other ones have Stalker bolt rifles and 2 auxiliary grenade launchers. We have an Ancient with a Storm Bolter, and then we have an Imperial Fist Siegebreaker Cohort Detachment, which is Primaris Captain, a Chaplain, another 10 intercessors, 2 units of 5 infiltrators, and 9 eliminators. They're sniper boys.
Them eliminators, as we saw yesterday.
Cheeky boys.
They're horrendous.
Yeah. All Strength 5.
I don't even need to see you. That's how alpha I am.
Yeah, so they -1 naturally with the Ignore line of sight and add 2 to hit. Heavy weapons, so in turn 1, the -2.
Yep.
The heavy shells, the Mortis rounds, Strength 5 -2, D3 damage, and mortal wounds on the 6. So turn 1, the -3. Super good. And they're tough to kill because they have Camo Cloak, so 1-up saving cover.
Insane.
Really tough.
So I really like these two matchups. So we've got this sort of classic
Confurioso
Eldar versus Dark
handle
Eldar,
it.
which is what you would have seen maybe like 6 months ago to a year ago
Yeah, it's
on the
all
top
dudes,
tables of
don't
the
care.
tournament. It's kind of like standard what you'd normally see. Everybody normally sees this sort of thing at the tournament. But then we've got a very weird sort of, well, I think that's a weird matchup over there. I mean, Imperial Knights, they're not so weird. We souped.
It's kind of like it's a typical Imperial Knight list, but with a bit of extra spiciness with the
But it's
Thunderfire
also
cannons.
Tom Leighton playing it.
Tom Leighton,
The guy knows what he's doing.
He does, yeah. So there you go. There's the blob of Imperial Fist. So there we go. We can see that we have one of the Imperial Knights has Endless Fury and one of them has Iron Bulwark. As you can see on screen, this one has Endless Fury and this one has Iron Bulwark. This one. There you go. I've run out of screen to draw on. Sorry. We also got the ducks on screen there, keep making sure no one's cheating, which is always good.
Yeah, I can tell you that on table... Oh, sorry.
Shall I cut to table 1?
No, on table 2.
Table 2.
The engineer admech have all been put on the very back of the board. So there is engineers, and he's trying to make them out of range of all the intercessors.
Okay. So we have the engineers, let's draw on the screen. We have the engineers here. So some engineers here, and we have some engineers here. There you go, thank you for Tom's finger. We have got drawing working today as well, because we are professionals.
Professionale.
So that's table 2.
We've got a ton of stuff going on over on table 1.
Let's go and have a
What is
quick look.
probably first to mention is just we've had word from the table how good the sportsmanship is. When we saw this last night, apparently Manny was helping Mark in his deployment phase, telling him where he should be putting his stuff to avoid, to negate, and also to make the best use of his Raven Wing bombers. Because obviously Manny knows what he's doing with these flyers. I think people seem to think that Eldar flyers are just a point and shoot you no skilly list. But there are a lot of intricacies really to what you've got to do. You've got to think about your movement ahead of the turn. You know, make sure, especially with these new tricks that the Space Marines have, not being able to make you fall back and stuff, they're not as easy as you would think.
No, exactly.
I mean, they're still Eldar, so I still hate it.
No one likes Eldar. So we should say...
but it's really nice to see that sportsmanship. We've seen it a lot this tournament. It's really good to see.
Yeah. I will just point out that Mark has Pick Your Poison. This flyer has a little green dice just there. This one does have a green dice, but you can't see it. These are the ones that it shows with Pick Your Poison, so fly and vehicle.
Yeah, so those ones.
So. I'm sure there's 2 other units, but we'll find out what they are. So I think we're going to get a full update from table 1. Let's get a side view, see what's happening, see some movement going on from the Mr. Manny Cheema himself.
Is my volume okay, chat?
Yeah? Any issue?
Let me know if it's too quiet or not.
Yeah. I think, if there's any issues with the stream, then do let us know. We are trying our best.
Yep,
this
good.
is the biggest setup we've ever done, and some of the biggest streams we've ever had. So I want to thank everyone for tuning in. You are all amazing. So.
Now, I can tell you all the things that's been happening over on table 1. So,
go for
at
it.
the start of the game, there was 3 CP used to put the Guardians up into the webway.
Yes, into the webway portal, so they'll be able to deep strike from turn 2.
And also, Mark has chosen to spend 1 CP to move his grots, which were laid down on objective, into the webway.
Okay, so they're deep striking as well. They're both got webway. Which way's better, do you think? Which one's has better service? Which ones has more refreshments available? Who knows?
Who has the better webway experience? You don't know. Who's paid for the premium?
Which one's 5 stars on Trivago and which one's not? So yeah, you've got the Guardians in the middle with what looks like the Shuriken Cannon. We've got the Farseer on the bike just next to him. Then we've got the Scatter Laser bikes just at the bottom here. These are the Scatter Laser bikes.
Also, over on that table, we can see that the Razor Wing bombers have started moving.
Void Raven bombers.
The Void... Are they Void?
Razor Wing jet fighters, which are the
okay.
gunny ones, and then the Void Raven bombers.
And the Void Raven bombers, right, okay. So they've moved over the squads. If we can see, if we go to the top-down view...
Let's quickly cut to the top down.
Let's see. Yeah, so in these L-shaped buildings, so the bomber has moved over, and he did do 3 mortal wounds to that infantry unit.
The infantry unit in the middle?
Yeah.
Okay. The racks?
Yeah.
The racks are the ones who are going to be able to hold the objectives. So the Grotesques are good at piling on an objective, but they don't have objectives secured. So... there you go. So Mark and Manny are good long friends in the competitive scene. They've been playing a long time. They're really good with each other. So they're both having just a friendly game and playing with intent, which is what we like to see in a competitive 40k. Both players agreeing, saying what they're doing, as long as they obviously can do it, but agreeing what they can do as well, and making sure they stick to it.
So that's all I've got for table 2 at the moment. I have just had an update from table 1.
Do you mean we've had an update from table 2? Which is Tom and
I'm going to start
Ramsey.
calling them left and right. So the left table.
Yeah, okay. Just want to say, morning CJ, how you doing? Thank you very much for the kind comments. Let's cut to table 2, which is Tom versus Ramsey.
Right, okay.
Well, James Ramsey. I'll just call him Ramsey, so there you go. Have you got an update for us, Toby? Elliot?
Oh.
I just looked at Toby, there you go. Have you got an update for us, Toby, to give Elliot so I can hear it?
No, so I can tell you that the infiltrators...
Yeah.
I've moved on to that objective that we can see.
These boys.
They've just tagged the objective. The knight in front of them isn't a character.
Oh, this one here.
Will not be able to intervene into
Yeah,
them.
so this is the unit of infiltrators here. This knight is a character. This knight is a character. But this knight is not. So no heroic intervention. No nasty walking into combat and getting punched. We're going to get updated list. So we don't need to update the list in the bottom because you can find all the lists public on BCP or Best Coast Pairings. So
I've just been told as well that we're not actually going to be able to get the proper placings for the top 10. Okay. We're not being given the scores.
Yeah.
Okay. So
okay.
We don't have that information. So as much as we'd like to keep you updated on how everyone's doing within the top 10, we're not being given that by the event organisers.
Right, okay.
So we can't keep you updated, I'm afraid.
So, alright, Demon Claw, being able to join streams, absolutely brilliant. Never seen anyone do that. Loads of people are joining our stream these days. I'm using Microsoft.
Oh, we're the only ones.
I mean, we're the only ones. Shall we quickly show the people what it looks like?
Show the people.
If I turn Chroma key off, this is my Microsoft Paint with a green screen. There you go. Production value is absolutely through the roof. And then it lets me do this. Woo!
Those infiltrators tiptoeing onto that objective will be enough to score Ramsey the bonus objective.
Oof. So this will be Ramsey's objective, what he's placed, that he has to hold for what shows his mind. So both players place 2 objectives, one in your opponent's deployment zone, and then one anywhere else on the board. If you hold both, you get a bonus point. So, Mikey, where are the eliminators? I'm sure you can find out where the eliminators are. We'll ask Toby if he can point to where the eliminators are on the board. Here we go, they come in. So we have one unit just in there. All 3 units just in there on each level. So all the eliminators are here. 1 on each level because it's a 3-tiered ruin. So, still 10 times better than most ruins.
And obviously it's worth pointing out for those who don't know that the eliminators don't need to draw a line of sight to be able to fire.
No, they don't. There are 3 modes of fire, Elliot. Did you know? 3 whole modes.
3 whole modes.
Let's go for it. We've got Mortis rounds, I think they're called.
I call them the sneaky boys.
Sneaky boys, yeah. So they have
Spooky
Strength
rounds.
5, -2, D3 damage, mortal wound on a 6. They have Strength 5, -1, 1 damage, do not need line of sight, and add 2 to hit. And then they have rapid fire rounds, which are D3 shot, Strength 5, 1 damage.
So those units, obviously, 2 wounds.
Yeah.
They're tough boys. They're technically on a 1+ save.
Because of the camo cloaks.
Yeah.
At 72 points a unit, they're super optimized.
We saw yesterday how tough they were to shift. Yeah, I believe Michael had to put, in the end when he was playing against Ramsey, he had to put his Talos into them to try and clear them up. And even then he left a unit on the top floor.
Because it's just so many.
It's just so hard to shift.
945, how you doing? Shaky Tom, how are you this morning? Yeah, they're just really good. And obviously Tom has some characters he needs to hide, which is stuff like the Thunderfire Cannon characters, because if they get taken out, the Thunderfire Cannons get deleted.
Yes.
And obviously because they have the character rule, they can still get targeted. Pancake, I apologise, I do not speak French, but welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a great day. We got some interesting stuff about the bolt weapons of the eliminators because they are Imperial fists. So, interestingly enough, we were told that we wouldn't get the top 10, but I sent Tank on a mission. I've sent Tank on a mission. Did you know? I sent him on a special recon mission.
Special recon mission.
So, we don't
Scout
have
tank.
We don't have the points.
We don't have the points.
But the current rankings, I think, maybe. I don't know if this is an order. It could be, but I'm going to pretend it is. We don't have an order, but we do have... we do have an order. There we go. It's all there. It's next to it. It's just not written properly. So there's currently 10 people who are in the top lead. So the top 10 people so far are Malik Eamon Rubio. Then we have Boris Michev. We have Anthony Chu. James McKenzie. Manny Cheema. Mark Cromblehome. So these are 5 and 6. Then we have Brian Pullen versus Mike Whitley. And then we have Martin Back versus Marcus Hinson. Martini Buck versus Marcus Hinson. So there you go. They're the top 10 players so far. They don't know that they're top 10 players. That was super inside intel.
There we are. That's what we do. He is a Primaris. He's an infiltrator.
Yeah, exactly. Tank is an infiltrator.
He's a Chad Marine.
He's a Chad Marine, yeah. So there you go. They're currently the top 10 players so far at the LGT. That was super inside intel, so don't tell anyone. Yes, this is the semi-finals. We do have, as I said, they're the top 10 people. They are all on 3 wins so far. So in this event, because there's so many people and it's only 5 rounds, there will not be a true winner except for the points. So I think there'll be 5 to 10 people who are undefeated in the event.
Now, a stratagem that's come up a lot in these new Space Marine lists is the Grey Shield stratagem.
Grey Shield, it's a Warlord trait.
It's a Warlord trait.
Yeah, so what you do is you buy the Indomitus Crusaders detachment.
Okay.
And then there is a Warlord trait that you get access to if you have that. So what it does is it lets you lets the units in that same detachment as the Warlord, who have this special keyword, which is basically all the primary stuff except for the Eliminators, who aren't even in that detachment. So it's his 70 intercessors, I think, or 60 intercessors in that detachment to take a second chapter tactic.
So this has happened on table 2.
Okay.
And to give them the Imperial Fist one, I believe.
They're already Imperial Fists.
The Crimson Fists, are they
Fist.
not? And then they've been given the Imperial Fist one using the Grey Shield.
Okay.
So either way, it means that 6s are going to explode.
Yes. So basically, Crimson Fist adds 1 to hit if you are outnumbered, which I don't think they will be, but there you go. But also, 6s to hit will explode with all the bolt weapons. So when he rolls a 6 to hit, he gets 2 hits rather than 1.
Yeah.
Which is really good. 3 hits instead of 1 because it stacks. Oh, because obviously Crimson Fist is add 1 to hit and you get an extra 6, an extra hit when you roll a 6. Apologies. Let's go over it again. He's Imperial Fist. So with a bolt weapon, when he rolls a 6 to hit, he gets 2 hits instead of 1. Super, super good. However, when he's Crimson Fist, not only does he get +1 to hit if he's outnumbered, he also gets an extra hit if he rolls a 6 to hit. So for this, when he Grey Shields and use Crimson Fist and Imperial Fist at the same time, every 6 to hit, which is re-rolling hits by the way, is 3 hits instead of 1. Got him.
And it can happen.
And Imperial Fist ignore cover, which is a very good point, Valerie. So, very, very interesting.
So if you get the Litany off a +1 to hit and you're outnumbered, that actually goes off on a 4+.
Wow.
Spicy, spicy, spicy.
I'm surprised it's not an unmodified 6.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure it's an unmodified 6.
There's a lot of stuff going on table 1. Table 1.
Table 1. The vibe of the event has been very, very good. We've had super awesome people on stream. We've had people like the Joshua Death. His final event of the weekend, he went into the semi-finals of the Invitational last night. He's retiring after this event, so RIP for that gaming career, but what an absolute legend to have on stream. But yeah, so on table 1, both players have been super cool with each other. Everyone's playing with intent.
Yeah.
Everyone's having a great time.
Yeah, everyone.
No drama.
Nope.
But if there was drama, we'd be the first ones to bring it to you. So there you go. So do you want to tell us all about table 1?
Yeah, so just on that note, I think it's really, really nice to see people bring these really, really tough lists, but just laugh and enjoy themselves and have a good game.
Yeah,
really
I love
cool
it.
to see, even at big events.
It's what we need on a Sunday morning.
Yeah. So we've got a few updates for you from table 1. So at the end of the movement phase, the bikes moved back onto the objective. Manny's bikes have moved back onto an objective.
Okay, back into the top left.
Yeah.
In here, so you can see
So you can see them there in the L-shaped building. Now going into the psychic phase. Now Jinx was cast onto the front grots, but Cromblehome denied.
Oh.
Yeah, but he wasn't able to stop Doom, obviously. So Doom did go off on the front unit of Grotesques, and then just to end that, he put Guide onto the scatter bikes. Now, staying with that same scatter bike unit, as we go into the shooting phase, Manny was able to fire and fade with them.
Ah, there we go. Okay, so he moved them out. He put them over here. He shot loads of guns, like, pew, 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 and then hid them behind in this wall again, so they can't get targeted. Super, super good play.
So the scat bikes opened up into the grots, and he's left them with 3.
3. So there's a unit of 3, and there's obviously another unit of 7 here. That's a unit of 3, and then he's got another unit in the sky over here somewhere. My microphone's fell over, so I apologise for that.
So there's some plays going on at the moment.
Yeah, it's the other way around. Zan said he is Imperial Fist and he's giving himself Crimson Fist tactic.
I don't see why he would give himself the Crimson Fist tactic. If the Crimson Fist one is just to be better while outnumbered, because he's really not outnumbered in this game.
Yeah, exactly. So it gives you his Imperial Fist naturally because he's painted yellow.
Yep.
His Imperial Fist. Crimson Fist gives you +1 to hit if you're outnumbered, and the extra 6 to hit gives you an extra hit. So they're both chapter tactics are giving the 6 to hit becomes extra. So it's extra 3 hits. That's why it's 3 hits, not 2.
Cool. Okay, so the outnumbered thing is slightly useless, but it's worth it for the 6+, right?
The attachment is Crimson Fist. I don't think it is, unless I'm mistaken. Let me just check. I could be mistaken. No, both detachments are Imperial Fists, as it is on his list. And they're painted yellow, so why would they be Crimson Fists?
Yeah, I believe...
I mean, sometimes that does happen, but there you go. They are painted yellow. They are Imperial Fists of the Horus Heresy, but bigger and better because they've got 2 wounds, and they're Intercessors, not normal Marines. They're not a Legion, they're a Chapter, but he is Chapter Tactic. Imperial Fist with Chapter Tactic, Crimson Fist slapped on top. It is only for 1 turn, so this is the alpha. He's got to kill the Knights turn 1 or he loses. Yeah. 1 turn is all you need. So we're going to get a full update.
So what's going on at the moment is we're just kind of rinse and repeating with the flyers on this table. So we're splitting fire. He's trying to sort out those racks. I believe he's firing his missile launchers into the bombers, though.
Shoot the missiles into the flyers to get rid of those, and then kill the grots as well.
Okay. So it's the grots and flyers that he's splitting his fire between with these flyers.
Yeah. Okay. Shall we go look at table 2?
Yeah, of course.
Let's go over table 2.
There's not tons happening. We have fired 2 units of intercessors.
Okay. Have we done much damage?
Cronus is down to 4 wounds.
Wow. Okay. Cronus being super good with his Hyperius launcher. BS2, so he just needs to kill him before he's going to be useless. I would do it the other way around, so you can use a Crimson Fish strap from the Specialist Detachment. Well, it's already in Indomitus Crusaders Detachments. I don't think it can use a stratagem to make it a Specialist Detachment for Crimson Fist as well. It's Imperial Fist, so he's ignoring cover, getting extra hits, and a Crimson Fist for more hits.
Really interesting bit of inside information from Table 2. So Tom has apparently said that he's offered up Cronus on a plate as the threat. He wants to keep his knights alive. He's kind of put Cronus out there as a sacrificial lamb. And it seems that Ramsey's taking the bait and he's firing all his intercessors at Cronus. So.
Nice. So the thing is with Cronus, is in a Hyperius Whirlwind.
Yeah.
It's not a Scorpius launcher, so it's not 2 damage, it's only 1. So it's a different Whirlwind than what we've normally seen with Cronus in.
Is it cheaper?
It's cheaper, yeah, and it's just different. It's got I think it's 2d6 shots rather than 3d3. It still shoots twice, but there you go. So they're not going to be really good at killing the intercessors, but the knights are with the Gatling cannons and the d3 damage in combat.
Okay, so another unit of intercessors has fired, and that has done 5 wounds to a knight.
5 whole wounds. Not enough to make it a difference.
Do you remember in 7th edition when people used to be really upset about knights? We can't wound them with anything. Bolters are useless against them. Now look at intercessors chipping wounds off knights.
When you're getting 3 hits for every 6 to hit, re-rolling, you're just laughing.
Yeah. So
hey, dude.
I am up. We're all up to date on these tables at the moment.
Yeah.
There's some plays going on. It does look like we're ready, almost.
I think we're going to get a quick update from Tank about the rest of the event, some of the winners. Or do you want to do an update? Let's cut to Tank, our roving reporter, to find out what's happening the rest of the event.
Hello everyone, quick update from the floor. Malik Rubio with his Imperium gun line against Boris Mitchev with his Orc Met gun line. Those guys were taking the time with deployment a bit, and as they were like the first one on my rounds, not really anything had happened yet, but I will update you on that one as things start dying. Anthony Chu versus James McKenzie. Usual getting to turn 2 very fast because Gene Stealer cults do nothing turn 1. Anthony Chu's been quite reserved with his movement. He's kept all his flyers within his own half of the board on this hammer and anvil deployment, making sure he doesn't leave any gaps and using all his planes and vehicles to zone out any Gene Stealer cult shenanigans. James McKenzie's made an interesting call of using his Aberrant squad as engineers. He was sort of saying to me that obviously they can't interact with the planes, so he may as well sort of exploit their toughness as an engineer squad to hopefully die hard and score him some points. James failed to advance his Patriarch into range of a plane. He was looking to sort of roll the dice on Mental Onslaught, but decided to keep him back. He actually rolled a 2 on his advance and CP'd it into a 1. As I left, he was just dropping in his mining laser neophytes to hopefully get lucky and shoot down a plane, perhaps. Table next to that, Brian Pullen with his Triptide Tau against Mike Whitley with his Ultramarine Successor Brigade. The Ultramarines had taken first turn. They're kind of like halfway through the shooting phase. He was chewing through the shield drones. He'd killed about 13 so far, but I did sense the usual sort of tower drone frustration on that table, but that's the game. Martin Bush with the Orcs against Marcus Hinson took first turn. We said the shock attack gun performance was going to be clutch on that game. I was lucky enough to see the relic shock attack gun shooting when I was there, and unfortunately it whiffed in quite a big way. He used Daka and showing off to shoot it twice. Only managed to do 2 wounds on one of Marcus's knights, so early swing in Marcus's favour there, though there's still everything to play for. Patrick Sanfilippo against Stephen Box, the Marine mirror match. As we said, Patrick took first turn. He managed to kill Stephen Box's repulsor on the first turn, so that gives him an edge in that game. As I left, Stephen was just advancing his aggressors and characters into the mid-board along with the Leviathan, using the L's in the middle to hide from Patrick's guns. Nick Nanavati with his GSC versus Richard Watkins Triple Knights. Great matchup for the GSC, as we said. Richard has screened out quite well. He's used all his guardsmen and AdMech infantry to create 2 layers of screens which don't leave Nick room to line in wait in between them. Nick doing his normal patient start. He's advanced his characters and one of his aberrant squads into the midboard, hiding behind the L's. I noticed Nick chose not to bring in his flamers yet. He was just dropping his neophytes in to shoot lasers at one of the knights and all the small arms into the first layer of screen. Suspect he's planning to use the neophytes to clear the first layer of the screen, and perhaps looking to bring in his flamers on turn 3 to clear the second layer of the screen, and hopefully he can start getting into those knights later in the game. So I'll keep you posted on those, and I'll send you back to Mikey and Elliot. Mikey and Elliot.
So there we go. Thank you very much, Tank, for that awesome update from the rest of the event. Obviously, we now know who are the top 10 players in the event. So we are live at the London 40k Grand Tournament. This is the semi-final. This is round 4 of the Open event. 400 players. We're down to about 10 to 15 potential winners. This is round 4. We have Tom versus Ramsey on this table. Elliot, do you want to tell me a quick bit about this game? Ramsey's using an intercessor horde of Imperial Fists, who are currently also Imperial Crimson Fists. So they got Imperial on one hand, Crimson on the other, and they're bro fisting each other. It's like whoosh.
Yeah, so just been talking to Toby, who's our table boss down on table 2.
Table lad.
You're talking us through the shooting phase. There's not lots going on. As you can imagine, 70 intercessors firing all their bolters isn't the most exciting thing that's happening.
I have noticed. I'm just going to draw a square here.
I'm just getting an update.
There was a Whirlwind Hyperios there with Sergeant Cronus. So Sergeant Cronus was there, and now he's gone. So it looks like the intercessors just shot over to deal with this guy. We also got 3 Thunderfire Cannons quite happy chilling here. I heard that the Eliminators shot into Cronus to try and finish him off. So is that what happened? Was it the Eliminators that killed Cronus? Well, Cronus' vehicle, or...?
I believe it was just the intercessors, unless you've heard something different.
When I went over the table a few minutes ago, it's just the Eliminators might have been helping them out by the sound of it.
Okay, yeah, so maybe it was a mix of both. That would make sense. The Eliminators, as we can see, can kind of do a bit of everything. Yeah. They're almost like mini Vindicares.
Yeah. What would you rate better from what you've seen? Would you say the Vindicare or the Eliminator is going to be better? I think the Eliminators are better. They are 20 points cheaper per unit, and also don't need line of sight to shoot. So that is the end of Ramsey's turn though. He's going to get kill 1, he's going to get hold 1, he's going to get the bonus by holding his home objective, which is one of these ones. He's got his home objective, and he's got the one that's placed in the deployment zone, which is here. He's taken that off the knight. So he's scored 7 points. He's scored 1 for Kingslayer, and Recon and Titan Slayers. So super good. So what a pretty good turn from Ramsey there. You know, getting rid of the Cronus, but maybe that was the bait. The infiltrators are super close now. He needs to deal with those. But all the intercessors are just at the back, just chilling, having a great time.
Yeah, so a really strong opening turn. He's got no CP, but there's a good lead so far. We'll just have to see how Tom Leighton replies.
Yeah, he's used all his CP turn 1. Wow, okay. Really good. Really good turn. Let's just have a quick second view so you can see the horde on the way in. Looks like the players are just having a chat, having a great time. So, which is always fun. So you can see all the knights have taken a bit of damage. I think we're going to be able to get a full update of how many wounds he's got left.
Yeah, so our closest knight to the camera at the moment has 14 wounds.
Yeah, the next one along
has 6 wounds.
And then the final one?
22 wounds.
Okay, so one's nearly dead already.
Sorry, 16. Yeah, I thought 6 was a bit low.
16, and then 20.
No, 14, 16, 22, going from right to left.
So, 14, 16... 22.
You're just abusing the power now.
I wrote it on screen. So no, it's not Tom Higginbottom, it is Tom Leighton, the ladies' man, the man, the myth, the legend, who's from the Honest Wargamer, who are also streaming from the London Grand Tournament. They are streaming the AOS coverage, so want to see that? Twitch.tv/ the Honest Wargamer. So, shall we cut to a different table?
Yes, I've got quite a bit to talk about.
Let's cut to table 1. So, table 1, this is Manny Cheema versus Mark Cromblehome. Do you want to tell me about what's been happening? This is Eldar versus Eldar. Eldari.
So the Grots are dead.
Oh, yeah. 1 unit of Grots anyway.
The Grots are dead, so that's the engineers dead.
We did have a unit here.
Yep.
So they're gone.
They
7.
are now gone. A flyer is dead.
Here. Oh, one of the Razor Wings.
Yeah, one of Cromblehome's flyers has gone. That did leave the 3 Exarchs to fire on those characters that were being screened by the Grots.
Yeah.
I can tell you that the Death Jester took 12 damage.
The Death Jester took 12 damage?
Yeah.
Nice. So one of the Death Jesters destroyed.
Bullet.
Yeah. So Death Jester's been super good with the sniper rifles and being able to do loads of wounds to one single unit, which is super strong. So Manny with 8 points so far. He's got kill 1, he's got hold 1, he's got 4 gangbusters by killing the grotesque. He's got 1 for recon to being all over the board, and then 1 marked for death.
So he then shot into the Shadow Seer. Mark used lightning fast reactions, and it sounds like he's made all his saves.
Wow.
So the Shadow Seer has survived that round of shooting.
Right, okay. So it looks like we're going into Mark's movement phase. It looks very intense. It looks like he's going to start starting to move in. He's down, you think. Manny's pacing. Ooh, maybe it's getting a bit tense on this table.
So this, the flyer that now, ironically, I don't think we can see.
Oh, sorry. I'll go back to the top. 1 second.
Yeah, the furthest flyer away, the one that's closest into Mark's corner.
This one?
No, his actual flyer. There you go, the one that's just under his head now.
Okay, this one.
That's taken 4 wounds,
okay.
Whilst the one that's on the other side of the board is on full. So
so this one's on wounds. 8, and I think this one's on 6, sorry, and I think this one's on 10. You see how I'm writing the numbers on the screen? How great is that? It's very, very squiggly though.
Right, okay, so we're going to stick with table 1 just for a little bit.
Xenos version of Aeronautica Imperialis, or Aeronautica Xenolalis.
So we can see now where Mark's going to move these flyers.
Yeah. There you go, it's 1 flyer flown over. Supersonic speed straight over to here. I'm very bad at drawing, by the way. I'm not having a great time with it. But it's working, so that's the main thing. So... what is this air carrier? Yeah, this is actually from the Avengers movie. That's what we're battling on, just the top of the air carrier, because there's just an air force again. There's a lot of air forces, because planes are really strong in ITC, because they can still score recon and behind enemy lines and stuff like that, and they are just really, really good gun platforms.
I think Eldar flyer lists are actually quite fluffy, in the way that, do you know, elves consider themselves above everybody else and don't want to get their hands dirty?
Yeah.
In the same way that in the first Hobbit movie, when they're being hunted down by the Warg Pack, the dwarves, the company of Thorin Oakenshield, and the elves just sort of turn up on horses and don't get their hands dirty, and just kill them with bows and arrows and then ride off.
Yeah, just knobheads.
Like, yeah, we don't want to get involved. We're not getting on the ground and getting our nice boots, our nice white boots, fluffy, and dirty. We're just going to fly around shooting you.
That. Like, you can see the Skyweavers are coming out, the Harlequin bikes with all the haywire cannons. Obviously, they can charge, which is going to be super good. See if we can get a better view of those coming out. They can charge, but also they have the haywire cannons as well, which are going to be really good at taking out these flyers. So, 6 Skyweavers, which are hiding in this L shape, have just flown over here. Really, really strong. There's a lovely paint job on this Eldar flyer here as well. Well, dark Eldar flyer.
So the white flyers are Manny's. The darker ones are...
Yes. Because obviously this is a Razor Wing. This is Manny's. But this is also a Razor Wing. This is Mark's. So,
yeah. So interestingly enough, I've just been told that what Mark is actually doing now is spreading out all his characters. He's trying to kill 2 bombers by just negating their chance to put anything down.
So this is known as move block.
Yeah.
Or chump block. So flyers all have a minimum move. Shall we have a look where the flyers can actually go?
Let's do it.
Because the Dark Eldar
Sounds
flyers...
like another opportunity for you to draw, so...
Yeah, it does. It does. Yes, it is very much an opportunity for me to draw. So, Dark Eldar flyers don't have vector dance. What that means is when they move, they can turn up to 90 degree, up to 180 degrees. So they have this direction. I'm drawing angles, so you love this.
So this one actually, ironically, that you're drawing on now, I've just had word from Toby on the table that's definitely dead, essentially. So the way that things have been placed, it is going to die.
Yeah, so these are the directions it can go. It has to move at least 20 inches.
Yep.
I'm not sure how it's going to cover this corner of the board. I think it means this one, maybe.
Okay.
So
they've agreed on the table that if it moves its minimum, it will still be sticking its nose off the board.
Ah, right, okay, that makes sense.
And obviously, if a model's overhanging the edge of the board,
it's dead.
It is destroyed.
Well, lots of people pointed that out on the stream last night, so...
There's lots of little movements going on.
Yeah. So basically you have a minimum move. You have to move that full distance and place your base. If you can't do that, you are dead, which looks like what his mark's trying to do. Why shoot something when you can just abuse the rules and stop it moving and make it force it to die by itself? So, yes, that is exactly what I'm saying, George. Exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah. So yeah, it looks like there's some quite precise movements going on over there. It appears that turn 1 on table 2 might be coming to an end now because it appears we're getting some notes. Actually, I think we're still in the middle of the shooting phase. Yeah. That's me getting ahead of myself.
It's Tom's fate. It's Tom's turn. Tom's having to play, isn't he?
Yeah.
So I think Tom, what needs to do, he needs to deal with the eliminators, but they are out of sight. So the other thing to shoot them is the Thunderfire cannons, but they'll still have a 2-up save against them, which is not good. So the Gatling cannons are going to have to put some work in here because every single time Ramsey ignores, every time Ramsey fails to save, he's going to lose a Marine. Because Gatling cannons are damaged too. He has 3 of those, so they are going to be the crucial linchpin of this game. He also has the Ironstorm missile pods, which are damaged 2 as well, but only -1 rather than -2.
So I can tell you that all the FUD guns are fired.
Yeah.
You only managed to kill 2.5 intercessors.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, strength 5, they're only -1 though.
Yeah. Cronus will have backflipped out and will be firing one himself.
Yeah.
Because he loves that. He'll go, get off that, I'm more important than you.
Yeah. So when Cronus' vehicle dies, he pops out like a disembark before it dies. So yeah, it looks like Tom's thinking about his next target. We're going to get an update from Toby about what's exactly happening. So Tom's going to be able to get some easy charges on the infiltrators, but what it means is Ramsey's managed to block him into his deployment zone as well. Because the way he's placed these infiltrators, no knight can fit through either side of here. So what that means is the knights are slowed down, so he won't be able to get into his horde. Ramsey's done the same here as well. He's put this marine here so the knights can't fit through without charging. So slowed him down and blocked him into his deployment zone. But what Tom needs to do is
was my on, Danny?
What Tom needs to do is get those knights into this horde as fast as possible. As soon as he touches it, they can't shoot. They're okay in combat, but they aren't getting the AP. The next battle round, Ramsey will be at -2 because he's likely going to go into tactical doctrine. So a lot of his weapons will become -2 rather than -1.
Okay, so a lot of the weapons that he's using are the heavy ones that benefit from the Devastator Doctrine.
Yeah. CJ says Eldar planes are flying, and Nabration says Eldar player above, which he is correct.
Right, so the knights at the moment, I'm being told, are focusing on that Mark for Death unit.
Yep. Do we know which unit's marked for death?
I believe it was. I'm sure Toby can point them.
Can Toby point out the marked for death,
units?
Units? Toby's going to do a finger. It's probably that unit where he's taking casualties. So, yeah, the fact that the big intercessor units, it's going to, it's just so many power levels, so they're going to be quite easy for mark for death.
Yeah, so there are 4 different units that are marked for death. Toby's just going to point them to us in a moment. We can't really see because they
blend in a little bit. So it's 4 units of intercessors, 2, 3, and 4. There we go. So they're all there. Thanks, Toby. I love your hand, by the way. It's very pretty.
Okay. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
he did have some white gloves yesterday, but it's taken them off today because it's getting a bit warm, that's all.
So
very warm in here with 500 players. White gloves like a proper judge, so you don't get any fingerprints anywhere. Yeah.
So one of the flyers, one of the units of intercessors, is dead. One of them are down to 4 men.
Nice.
And he's still got 2 knights to shoot, so
wow, okay.
Looking like he's going to score some big points.
Yeah, the knights, obviously, he's using the battalions, the linchpin. But what Tom could do is use suppression fire to stop a couple of the intercessor units moving. But what Tom really wants to do is get them nice and close so he can stand all over them. Because Tom can move into combat, stamp on them, pull out and then shoot. Whereas Ramsey, once he's in combat, he's punching. However, he won't be able to shoot. It is the same Space Marine army as yesterday. Reason being, we thought this was a super cool matchup between the players. How does an Intercessor Horde deal with Imperial Knights? And the answer is Imperial Fist and Crimson Fist Bro Fist with Grey Shield. That's how they deal with it.
It's also quite hard in the earlier rounds when you want to bring cool armies on. You can't really predict who's going to end up on the top table.
No, exactly. So he does not have a power fist on the sergeant. He just has chainsaws. So just a few extra attacks. But it's a lot of attacks coming for all the units. Tom's lovely headband getting in shot there, if you saw. I love Tom's dice rolling. Watch his arm. Watch his arm when he rolls his dice. Look at it. It's just like... whoop, whoop. It needs a sound effect, I think.
There's quite a bit going on table 1. I don't know if we want to swap the action for a little while.
Let's cut to table 1.
Yeah, we go through their...
Here we go. It looks like it's Mark's shooting phase by the sound of it.
CP reroll being used there. Right, okay, I think I'm ready. So I'm going to give you an update now on table 1. So Mark was out of denial range going into his psychic phase.
So he got free reign.
Yeah, exactly. He cast Smite onto the Void Raven Bomber that's in the middle of the board. For 1 wound on that. He then got Shards of Light off.
Okay.
For another 2 mortal wounds, so 3 in total.
Yep.
Obviously that minuses to the leadership as well.
Okay.
So then moving into the shooting phase, we have the Death Jester.
Yep.
He fired at the same unit, matched the leadership.
Yep.
So did a mortal wound.
Nice.
But Manny was able to make his feel no pain roll.
Oof.
Yeah.
A Spirit Stone save. So the Death Jesters have some sneaky tricks with leadership, so that's how they get extra mortal wounds out, which is super good.
Okay. So the Void Raven Bomber that was targeted, that's in the middle, was a Pick Your Poison unit as well. So that's why he's chipping wounds off that unit.
Yeah.
He was then able to move one of his flyers, as we've seen down the board here. It was the one, ironically, that you highlighted before.
This one?
Yeah, that was able... No, because it's Mark's turn, isn't it?
Okay, you're talking about this fly. There's a lot of flies on the board.
Yeah, so he's moved down the board because he's shooting.
Yeah.
And he's fired into the scatter bikes.
Okay.
Now, there was a CP reroll used to try and save one of them, but I believe some of them did still die. How many...
I apologise, it's the Shadow Seer who has the leadership weapon. It's like a grenade. It's like a weird grenade launcher, I think it is.
Okay, so it's not the Death Jester. Sorry, the unit that's in the middle is not a Void Raven Bomber, it's a Razor Wing Fighter.
Yeah, the Void Raven Bombers are here and here.
Yeah, so it was one of those.
That's a Razor Wing, that's a Razor Wing, that's a Razor Wing, that's a Crimson Hunter, that's a Crimson Hunter, that's a Crimson Hunter. That's a Razor Wing.
All looks the same to me.
That's a Razor Wing. They're all flyers.
All looks the same.
Hey, we're doing his best to make sure we're all right. If you correct us, then we stand corrected. And I set corrected because I'm at a table. So.
Can we get some Plague Bearers or some Death Guard? I know how to talk about them.
Next. So. Hey Neil, how you doing?
I'm trying to walk this fine line between being too loud for everybody on stream, but being loud enough for our table bosses to hear us.
There you go. You can see the Eldar Air Wing Air Force fighting there. So it looks like it's still Mark's turn currently. I think we got an update. We can get a quick update from table 2. Let's cut to table 2. Let's have a quick look at the top down, see how the intercessors are doing. Are they weathering the storm? Oh, it looks like there's a little bit less than last time we looked. And I think Toby's going to give us a full rundown of what's happened so far. So. Do you know what's happening?
So yeah, on table 2, we've just been talking about how the banner, the relic banner, the Emperor and Senate banner that he's using, is normally really, really strong when you're killing intercessors.
Yeah.
But he's firing against knights, right? So he's wounding on 6s.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then the Tyrannus Knights, it's the House Tyrannus, have the 6+ feel no pain.
Yeah, well, 6 up damage prevention roll.
Yeah, exactly. Damage prevention roll.
Yeah, it's not called feel no pain anymore.
Well, it is feel no. Everyone knows it's feel no pain.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're quite hard to kill. There's only 1 unit of intercessors actually died. So not doing the work that he would be hoping for, but he is going to be able to look into charge that unit that's in front of him. So we're looking at maybe 1. If he can kill another unit, he'll get kill more.
Yeah, he will. Ramsey only kill 1 unit.
Yeah.
Toby, if you can just make sure that you're updating the CP, because Tom's CP is down to 12 on his little dial, but it says 13 on screen. Thank you. I see you, Toby. Make sure you're doing your job. Thank you, matey. There you go. A few more intercessors being removed. We're going to find out what that CP was used on. Toby not keeping up. It's not Tom's fault, it's all Toby's fault. Do you know what the CP was used on?
No.
They have absolutely no idea. So. Oh, right, okay, so dial is on 12. Oh, okay, so it looks like 12 on my screen. So it looks like 12. It looks like, does it look like 12 to you? We're looking at this dial here, let me point it out. This one here. It is up to 13, so there you go. Thanks, Toby. I love you. Gotta come look at it. Look,
So
that looks like 12, doesn't
No,
it?
it is 12. So the dial only goes up to 12.
Ah.
And then he has a crystal on top to signify the 13th.
Of course he has a crystal.
Yeah. And then you made me second guess myself. But he did spend a command point to rotate.
Okay.
But then he got it back.
Okay,
so he stays
cool.
at 13.
Okay, cool.
So ignore that dial.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. So let's have a quick look at the chat. How is everyone doing today? Is everyone having a great time? Now, there's Marines spewed out all their CP into him to try and do as much damage as possible. They've basically done pretty much nearly killed a knight, but across 3 knights. Because one of them, shall we draw on it? This one has 14 wounds remaining. That was terrible. Let me try again. Mr. Malchus, thank you for the follow. This one has 14. This one has 16. And this one has 22 wounds remaining. There we go. Professional. Drawing.
Professional.
Drawing. With some drawing. We need to get some angled XLR cables, don't we? So we don't have this little wire sticking down at the bottom.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to subscribe to Hellstormwargaming.co.uk and become a subscriber to get more content, we'll be able to get better equipment for these streams. The Marine player does have 2 chaplains, I believe. You can see all the lists on BCP.
So that knight that's just charged the Eliminators did take 3 wounds in Overwatch.
Infiltrators. What took 3? This one here?
Was it the Infiltrators?
Yes.
Come on, Toby.
So this knight is down to 11 wounds.
Are they Infiltrators or Eliminators, mate?
They're infiltrators.
Ah, okay.
The eliminators are in this building. They're the sniper boys. These are the sniper boys in here. But these are infiltrators because they deployed outside the deployment zone.
Yeah.
So let Toby worry about his silly Imperial Guard list and I'll worry about the Marines. Toby's giving me a right stern look now. I love him really. He waved and blew me a kiss.
So while we're waiting for those rolls, I'll give you a quick... We don't need to change over to table 1.
Okay.
But just to tell you that there was 14 shots fired from the bikes. Only 3 hits. Sorry, this is into the Razor Wing Bomber. That's in the middle of the board. Razor Wing Fighter. I'm just mixing the 2 units together now so that I can't be wrong. So 14 shots, only 3 hit.
Wow.
But he did do 4 mortal wounds, so that does leave the Razor Wing on. How many wounds does the Razor Wing in the middle have, Dan? Okay.
So it looks like this infiltrator unit has been absolutely removed so far. There's still only one left holding this objective. And it got hit by 2 knights in
7.
combat. So
Right, so that it on 7 wounds.
obviously, oh, there we go. Final 2d3. He's going to kill the final infiltrator. So that is kill 2. That's going to give secure Tom kill more. And I imagine he's going to pile in his knights a little bit closer. Or he's just going to wait. I don't know. I don't know what Toby's saying. It sounds like it's a pile in, consolidate. It's the same thing. Yeah, exactly. Tom said, shut up. Tom is a pro player. He's won 3 games, Toby. He knows what he's talking about. You idiot.
Give him some plug-in.
There's some plug-in in the chat. Cheeky boy.
Cheeky plug-in.
So, why don't we have a quick update? Well, that's the end of the turn. Tom has got kill 1, he's got hold 1, he's got kill more. He's got 4 points so far. He's got 1 for old school, he's got 1 for mark for death. And that is it. So it's going 8-5 going into round 2. So a good turn, good retaliation from Tom, killing a lot of the intercessors, killing all of the infiltrators. So why don't we have a quick update from Tank whilst Ramsey goes into his movement phase?
Hi everyone, update from the floor. Malik Rubio with his Imperium gunline against Boris Mitchev with his Orc gunline. Mikey's just going to adjust my camera because he's noticed someone's kicked it. Boris was currently still shooting his millions and millions of Orc guns when I left. Quite an interesting play I noticed that I asked the players about. Malik had actually deployed his Phobos captain right at the front of his army, in front of Malik's guns, along with the 2 Invicta warsuits. I sort of asked him about that, and essentially he's sacrificing his Phobos captain and his Invicta warsuits, exploiting the captain's no deep strike bubble to prevent Boris from jumping any boys in the first turn to attempt to charge his screens and gain board control. So really interesting play there. Nothing sort of significant of Malik's had died at the time that I left. Anthony Chu versus James McKenzie. As we said, very tough game for the GSC against the Flyers, especially with a sort of flyer player of Anthony Chu's caliber. However, some big news from that one. James actually had a bit of a whiff with his mining lasers, managed to kill no planes. However, Anthony Chu's only got 2 models in his whole army that can be hugged, an Archon and a support weapon. James Mackenzie's has managed to hug a support weapon in his backfield with a unit of Roxors. So there's kind of a slim chance of the boots on the ground there. So really great play from him, and it's going to be interesting how it plays out. The Brian Pullum with the Tau, he's playing Mike Whitley with the Ultramarine Brigade. The Marines in their first turn managed to kill 25 shield drones, so more than half of them gone, and also 2 hazard suits. Still a lot of drones left though, like another 18 or so. The Tau managed to kill an Invicta Warsuit and a Contemptor Mortis Dread and a unit of suppressors in response. All to play for there, and it was essentially a bit of a first turn game, and with the Marines having the advantage from going first, but we'll see how that develops. Martin Bush with his Orcs and Marcus Hinson with his Knights. Both players completely whiffed in the first turn, so it's essentially almost like nothing's happened in that game yet. They've both lost very little and both still got all their tools that they need. Patrick Sanfilippo and Stephen Box, bit of a mirror match with Marines. It was Massive who got first, and Patrick got it and took it. Stephen's without his repulsor now, and Patrick's took the Leviathan Dreadnought, which was quite important to Stephen, down to just 3 wounds now. Looking at it, I think that one's shaping up for a bit of a slugfest in the middle L's between both of them are occupying an L each with their smash characters and aggressors, and we could see those collide with each other soon, which will be quite exciting. So I'll let you know how that one goes. Nick Nanavati with GSC, things appear to be going exactly to plan for him against Richard Gwatkin with the Knights. Terrible matchup for Richard, especially against a player of Nick's caliber. Nick killed all of his first layer of screen with neophytes last turn, and as I left them, he was teeing up a 4-inch charge with one of his aberrant units, setting up to charge a guard screen unit and then hug an AdMech Ranger unit who were sort of next to them. So Nick looking really good there. A bit of a standing joke that Nick yet again has failed to cast Mind Control, so he's gone 9 games without casting Mind Control successfully once now. So that's it from me for now, and I'll send you back to Mikey and Elliot, and catch you soon.
Thank you very much, Tank, for that awesome update. We are live at the London 40k Grand Tournament. This is the semi-final. This is round 4, 400-man event. Lots and lots of winners so far. We are covering 2 games. My name's Mikey. I'm joined by Elliot. You okay, Elliot?
Hello.
Hello.
I am Elliot.
This is Warhammer 40'000.
Welcome to Warhammer 40'000.
Live from London. This is the biggest event in the UK, one of the biggest events in Europe. We have 2 tables being called. We have Mark versus Manny. It's Eldar versus Eldar, or Eldari versus Eldari. It's Drakari with Harlequins versus Eldar and Drakari. So, do you want to tell me about what's happening in this game? What's going on?
Yeah, so not much to talk about this one, so we'll move over to table 2 in a second, but just before we do that, I can tell you that the Harlequin bikes went into the Razor Wing.
Yep.
It was only on a few wounds. And they only got
Killed
2
it.
wounds off on it, but it was enough to do 4 damage.
Okay.
Manny
Because of the
failed
mortal
all of his
wounds as
field.
well.
Yeah, because of the mortal wounds. Yeah, it was 4 mortal wounds, I believe. So they were able to do the 4 wounds that needed. It was left on 4 wounds.
Boo!
Manny failed all of his feel no pain rolls.
Yep.
Used a CP reroll.
Oh no.
Still failed. So that is that Razor Wing in the middle. That I believe was pick your poison.
Yeah.
That died.
So there you go. So we saw turn 1. Manny was super aggressive with his flyers, trying to get him to kill some grots. However, and he uses scatter laser bites, which are in the top left corner, to come out, help try and deal with the grots, and then fire and fade them back in. So they're going to be jumping in and out. Now we've seen all the flyers moving. I believe we're going to see. We have seen all the flyers move, and we're probably going to see a couple of flyers die from movement, but we'll have to see.
So word is from the table that Manny's been able to sort of move out of that threat. But
Okay.
the problem is now that he's trying to think ahead to next turn.
So it doesn't
Because
happen
obviously
again.
Mark's got stuff in the webway. So he's basically playing 3-dimensional chess. He's trying to think
4D chess.
4D chess. He's trying to think ahead into the future as to where Mark could potentially bring stuff in to block him and then force the movement death.
It's the silver flies, the silver red flies that are managed. He's got to be careful because
So
these
this
ones
unit
don't
down
have vector
here,
dance. This unit here.
Yeah, they are not dead or on the board. They are in the webway.
This one. Then
Yeah, so they're not there.
I'll scroll them out. There you go. They're gone.
Yeah.
They're gone. They're in the webway. They're having a great time. They're like on a train on the way in. So Manny's got to be careful of that. But at the end of round 1, we saw Manny score 10 points compared to Mark's 4. Manny got kill 1, hold 1, kill more, hold more. 4 gangbusters, 1 recon, and Mark for death. Mark got killed 1 and hold 1, 1 picky poison, and 1 recon. So we are currently in round 2. Let's quickly update the scores. So that was that table. Manny only has 1 CP, but Mark still has 8. So how about we have a look at table 2, the Intercessor Horde versus the Imperial Knights.
So I believe they're in the middle of their shooting phase.
Yeah, this is Ramsey's turn 2. So at the end of their turn, we saw 8-5 lead for James.
Before that happened, though, they were able to get the Littonit +1 to wound on the I believe it's the furthest back squad of intercessors, the ones that were at the back of the board.
Okay. What's on to hit? Sorry.
Oh, the teal squad, right? Okay, I heard that as tail squad. That's why I assumed it was the back. So it's the teal squad.
Yeah.
So they're going to be looking to do some wounds to a knight. James has been trying to get move blocks off on the knights, trying to deny him getting up that board. So he's been moving his infantry up to try and stop that sort of play.
Yeah, exactly. So by putting these little models here and here, it's stopping Tom walking through here.
Yeah.
And walking through here in this way. So he's got to charge into them, which is just slowing the knights down and holding them back, which is what James needs to do to stop Tom getting in the juicy castle of intercessors. Yep. As soon as Tom has knights in here, it's game for James. I think. So, as you saw, we saw Ramsey go first, turned himself, he's an Imperial Fist, but turned himself into a Crimson Fist, got extra hits with his bolters, because he gets 3 hits on a 6 rather than 2. So, just going for a bit of an alpha. I presume he's in Tactical Doctrine right now, so all of his bolt weapons are an extra -1 AP, all rapid fire and assault weapons. James also has Recon, so he needs to spread up across the board and make sure he can get to those points by having a unit in every quarter of the board. Sorry about the scores being updated there, just making sure we're not being cut off or anything. So
4 wounds, I think that was.
So what?
Yeah, so the knight that's closest to us, the knight that before that you drew on, our closest one, this boy, he's on 4 wounds now. He's down to 4 wounds.
It took a couple of wounds to move. Watch, because with the infiltrators, this one is on 4. Because the infiltrators, which we're blocking him in, auto wound on a 6 to hit. Which is really good. So when you're overwatching, your 6 is to hit. Every time you hit, you cause a wound as well, which is really good. So they cause 3, and they cause 3 hits. Yeah.
Round time if you had an hour 20.
Yeah, so we're just checking, just doing a quick update. I think there's an hour 40 left on the clock.
Yeah, so they were the round officially started at 9:30 and will run till 12:30. 3-hour round.
Yeah, then we'll be having an hour break, and then we will have the final live in London on Sunday night.
Game day here at the Valley Stadium. It is worth pointing out that it won't be a final in the same way that it was yesterday.
No.
It's not a true final. It is a fifth round. Essentially, it's the final round, but there will still be multiple tables playing, and it's all to play for. There's still going to be a good amount of players who could all possibly take first. So we're going to have Tank running around, trying to keep us up to date with what's going on the two tables we won't be streaming. We'll try and pick the most interesting matchup for you guys. But as is always happening with live Warhammer in such a big event, you can always see upsets.
You could see a submarine sneak into the top. So we're going to choose two interesting matches, probably the two highest players versus the second two highest players, but we will see. We will see. So we're going to get a quick update. One knight is on 2 wounds, I think. So the bottom knight, who has the Endless Fury Knight. Is it the Endless Fury Knight?
I believe
Iron
so,
Bulwark.
yeah. Iron Bulwark.
So this one has a 4++, a 4+ in run. Brains for trains, thank you very much for following this. This 4++ knight has 2 wounds.
So, I can tell you now that the 2 eliminated squads are looking to fire mortis rounds into that knight. It's on 2 wounds.
Strength 5, -2, D3 damage shots, but also a 6 to wound causes a mortal wound in addition. So there you go, could cause up to 4 wounds each.
He's only on 2 wounds now, this boy, as well.
Yeah, that's a potential of 12 damage from three models.
Okay, so 1 unit was able to do 3 damage, so hopefully if he fires 1 unit, that's enough to kill it.
Yeah. So we got Tyrannisay up, I think. We're about to find out what's happening. Elliot's going to tell us what Toby has told him.
Yep, so I'll go back to front this time. So we've got, on the furthest away knight, he's on 16 wounds. Still got 14 wounds on the boy in the middle, he's not changed. Oh, 12, so he has changed, he's lost a further 2. There you go. Yeah, that was really easy rescue. So, interestingly enough, he didn't finish off that night.
No, still on
No,
2
he's left
wound boy.
He's left it on 2 wounds. Mikey, could you maybe shed some light as to why he might have done that?
What, left it on 2 wounds?
I mean, the uninitiated Warhammer player in me would have thought, kill it. Don't leave it on 2 wounds, just kill it. Because he's still got that Mechanicum stratagem, which allows him to act like he's on full bracket.
Yeah, he does. Maybe he's planning on killing it in combat. Maybe. Charging in. It does not just have intercessors, he has eliminators, and he has 2 units for infiltrators where they have been removed. If you want to see the list, go on BCP. Knights need to explode in the middle, yeah they do. So currently on 2 wounds, 12 wounds and 16 wounds. So I am curious to what James has left to shoot. Does he have much left to shoot? Oh, it's the charge phase now, so no, he doesn't have anything left to shoot. Yeah, sorry?
Danny, sorry, so
okay.
one squad's going into the bikes. Can you tell me what the other squad's going into, please?
So what the plan is James is planning on charging in with a couple of units and dying in Overwatch.
Oh.
Sounds like an interesting play, doesn't it? Yeah. However, he does have the relic banner, so he'll be able to shoot as he dies on a 4+. So then he'll be able to shoot again at normal BS and hopefully kill the knight on the way in, which will force Tom to spend 3 CP to keep that knight alive.
There we go. Yeah, so that seemed like a silly play to me, but there's the tactics behind it.
Yeah. So what could happen here is Ramsey could kill the knight in the charge phase, charge into it, maybe do the final wound and then kill it again. Interesting stuff. I'm curious, do you have to fire Overwatch? I don't think you do. I don't think you do have to fire Overwatch. I think it's optional. He can't shoot immediately, no, but it is during the charge phase. He's not currently in combat.
Sorry, I can't hear you over
and then when he dies in combat, so he has to punch him. So hopefully kill that knight twice and get rid of it. It's super interesting. We're going about to see. The thing is, Tom wants to kill stuff as well, so We're going to see whether he plays, how he plays this. Toby's going to come over and give him a full update. So I'm thinking, he dies in Overwatch, kills the knight gets back up, charges him, dies again, kills him in combat.
Yeah, that might have been the plan. Interestingly though, I think James might have made a mistake charging that knight, because obviously Imperial Knights can't move over infantry, but they can fall back over them.
They can fall back over. So we talk about this movement up here.
He's been maybe overzealous to get the bonus point, but what might happen now is Tom can just jump straight over that with a fallback.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
that's true. Or he could just delete that unit.
I mean, yeah, if you could kill them in combat, that'd be great, because it would help it stop and get the bonus anyway. But it looks like some of them have been moved off the board now, and James has still got his toe on that bonus point.
Okay. Yeah, they are all Primaris. He has He started with 70 intercessors, 10 infiltrators, 9 eliminators, and some characters. So super interesting.
So we spent quite a bit of time on this table now.
Yeah, it's juicy. It's because it's juicy.
It is juicy, but we do have 2 tables.
Yeah, we do. So let's move over to table 1. We'll get a full update. Unless you're just about to do the score, then we'll just do the score, then move over. Yeah, they're just doing the score.
They're doing the scores now, so perfect time to move over.
James is going to get kill 1, he's going to get hull 1, he's going to get the bonus point, he's going to get recon, some more for Titan Slayers, some more. So 14 points, 14-5 going into Tom's turn 2. So, table 1.
All the Guardians, is that done it?
We're going to find out a full update from table 1. Let's just let Elliot finish writing his notes. He's a good note keeper, is Elliot. He's very good to have on stream. Is everyone happy with mine and Elliot's commentary this morning? Are you all having a great time? How you doing, Jimmy the Brush? Love you. Which drink has been most popular with the competitors? I think it's Birra Moretti has been the most popular, and water. Toby's giving me a nod, so I think that's right. So let's cut to table 1.
So yeah, I need to try and unload some of this info before I'm buried.
Okay, so we have Manny versus Mark, the Flyers versus Dark Eldar. Manny being super aggressive. He's just gone finishing his shooting phase.
Yes, we have movement. We have movement, psychic, and shooting.
Go for it. Tell me about it.
So in the movement phase, Manny did bring in 2 of his Guardian squads.
Yeah.
So 2 of the 3 that were in the webway at the start of the game.
Yeah, we got one here.
Then in his psychic phase, he was able to get off Seer Council first.
So +1 to cast.
Yep. And also Doom and Jinx. Now Doom and Jinx went onto the bikes.
The Skyweavers. So -1 to the save and rerolling wounds. It does look like there's a few less bikes there.
I'm not too sure. I think it was the scatter bikes that fired into them.
The scatter bikes into the Skyweavers.
There's
scatter bikes into the Skyweavers.
Perfect. Yeah. So yeah, both the Guardian Bomb and the scatter bikes have gone into the
Sky. Cool. Thank you very much. We're going to get an update of exactly. Danny's just giving us a quick rundown.
Okay, so the planes are going into the bikes. It sounds like the Guardian Bomb didn't fire into the bikes. It actually fired at the plane on the hill.
Apologies. So he's got 2 planes. He's got 1 here. Mark has 1 here and 1 here. These are Mark's planes.
Okay.
All the other planes are Manny's.
Differentiate between. I just thought it was 1, mate. So Yep. Right, okay.
We're going to get an update. We're going to catch up. Yeah. Danny's doing a great job.
Yep. So, this squad of Guardians.
Which squad of Guardians?
The closest one that is.
The one at the top?
Yep.
This one here?
Yep.
What about them?
So they fired into the scatterbites, I believe. Whereas the other...
They shot into the Skyweavers and removed some. And the other unit of Guardians shot into a plane.
The plane on
into
the
this plane. Yeah, there we go.
There we go. Sorry about that, guys.
A little bit confusing.
There's 2 big groups of Guardians. Yeah, of course. So, let's have a look. So, all still to play for in this game. It's 10-4 at the moment to Manny, but obviously Mark's plan is speeding up. He's going to start thinking about how he can kill those planes, so he just needs things to hang on so he can deny Manny movement range. Now, bringing all of those flyers is obviously a really good list, but at the same time you do have to really think about where you're going to be putting models. If you play something like Plague Bearers or Orcs, you can be pretty knackered at this point. If you're not doing the damage and not killing that horde, you can really sort of punish yourself and not be able to move, and then kill yourself, as it were.
It's just not what you need, is it?
No.
No, you don't want to do that.
No, not at all. No. So, really interesting game. It's brilliant to see these two guys are friends. They've known each other for a long time. They've got a long history of playing against each other. So it's really nice to see this level of play.
Yeah, super, super good. Let's get a side view of this table. So you can see the momentum which man is keeping up. So there we can see the Guardian Bomb here, and the Scatterbites went into the Skyweavers here. These are the Skyweavers of Mark's. It's quite interesting because Mark has the more colourful units.
So it's this last plane that's being targeted now. So I believe it's down to 4 wounds, as we can see. There's that over-the-shoulder cam.
Shall I draw a 4 on it? So now you can't see.
Okay.
He's wearing his bat onesie
the
today.
Harlequins are being targeted as well as the bomber here. I believe it is a bomber. It looks like a thicker chassis.
This one here?
Yeah.
That's the bomber just under Manny's arm.
This one. Because it's him that's being shot, isn't it? Yeah.
That's a Razor Wing, Elliot.
Is that a Razor Wing?
Yes, it's a Razor Wing. Mark doesn't have any bombers.
Okay.
So Manny has 2 bombers, which are
the exact same model?
No.
Just different guns?
No. Let's have a top-down view and we'll do some drawing for Elliot.
Okay,
and for those at home, I mean.
Yeah, because I'm quite confused because they look very similar to
We went through it earlier, but we're going to do it again. So this is a Razor Wing. You can see it's got little pointy and pointy long wings.
Yep.
The Void Raven bomber is longer.
Which still has a pointy nose and pointy wings. Can you see why I'm confused?
But you can see this is also a Razor Wing.
Yep.
And it has 2 little red pointy tips like this.
As opposed to the single spike.
Has this Razor Wing, this Void Raven here has like a whoop. That's the cockpit. That's where the drivers are.
I can see why they would make that so confusing, yeah, because Space Marines are very similar. I mean, Storm Ravens are so close to all the other flyers.
Yeah, I totally agree. It is confusing, especially when there's so many of the same unit on the board in the same matchup.
And that's the issue, isn't it? When you've got a certain aesthetic in an army, it can quite often, if you're not familiar, and we've got so many models in the world of 40k now.
Yep, and the paint...
It's making excuses for myself, guys.
The silver planes are very reflective on the light, so it's difficult for you to see into it.
Just leave me alone.
But Mikey's basically the Bob Ross of 40k at this point. Thanks, Rob. So no one makes those mistakes in 40k. They're just happy little accidents.
The Razor Wing jet fighter of the Dark Eldar faction that Mark is using.
This one up here
has taken 6 wounds. We've got it right. We've nailed it.
Bob.
That is the stream 1.
Okay.
It has taken 6 wounds.
It's only got 4 remaining, as we said. And sometimes you're just going to put a nice little Razor Wing just in that painting. There you go. The Void Raven also has 4 engines compared to the 2 that the Jet Fighter has. Oh, so Mark's counting up with his die, so it didn't have 4 remaining. It has 4 wounds taken. Now it has 6 wounds taken. So hope everyone's enjoying the coverage. This is the semi-final of the London 40k Grand Tournament. We've streamed, this is the 8th game we've streamed this weekend. We've covered 2 games at once, so it's technically the 16th and 17th game we've covered this weekend, which is just amazing. So, fantastic. How are you feeling, Elliot?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm enjoying it so far.
Yeah?
Drinking coffee this weekend, which is something I never
That's
normally
weird.
do,
You
but
don't
it's
drink
very
coffee.
needed.
Yeah. Dino's been delivering Monster to the table like an absolute legend. So
Everyone's keeping us caffeined up, right?
yeah, exactly. So while Mark's doing his movement phase, shall we go and look at table 2?
Yeah, of course.
Let's go and have a nosy. This is Tom versus Ramsey. Having a great time.
So, at the start, I think the tactic, the stratagem, it's one of my favourite ones, is, I think it's called Machine Spirit Resurgence.
Machine Spirit Resurgence. That is the spirit drawing one last breath and powering everything into the guns
One last
and the
gulp
feet.
of oil, and it goes, actually, I am really angry about what's happened to me, and I'm now going to focus big time.
Yeah.
So it allows that
This
wound,
knight on 2
it
wounds.
allows that knight that's on 2 wounds to act as if it's on its full profile.
As if it's got 24.
And then, going into the shooting phase, that was our first knight to fire.
Yep.
You want to fire that knight first.
Yep.
As soon as an intercessor dies,
He'll shoot into the knight.
he'll shoot into the knight with 2 wounds, right? So you fire that one first, you get it out of the way, and he did good. he kills 7 intercessors.
What a boy. What an absolute boy. So what we've seen is Ramsey with his Intercessor Horde having his main castle here and filtering out units here and here to block the knights in combat. Block the knights from moving, sorry. But then he charged these units to get the bonus points by sitting on Objective 1 and Objective 3 here. But the issue with that is it allowed Tom to fall out of combat with his knight over the infantry and to start getting closer to the Intercessor Castle, which is not what Ramsey needs. It's not. It's a very, I think, a misplay by James there. I keep calling him James because he's got Ramsey. It's called James Ramsey, and it's Tom Leighton with the headband. So there you go. So I think that was a bit of a misplay by James for going for the bonus point. Got himself a point, however, the knight is now very close to this castle where James does not like knights there. He likes his own stuff there, his Intercessor blob. So Valerie says that little mistake there with the charge will cost him the game. I'm not going to disagree. I think it's going to be very, very punishing for doing that. So it does very much need a knight to go down. There's 1 on 2 wounds. He's just going to sit and shoot. I don't think he'll even bother charging because he might die. But then again, if he does blow up, if he blows up, spicy. Very spicy. Very, very spicy. Yeah, 75% of it might get back up, which is just hilarious. Tom does still have 11 CP remaining. Ramsey has none, so he could use the can't remember what the strategy is called, where you force a knight to blow up on a 4+.
Noble sacrifice.
Noble sacrifice. Did you just correct me on a strategy?
Hey guys.
Hello, my name's Elliot. I'm pro Warhammer.
Knight's about the only faction that I really know inside. And even they brought Chaos Knights out, and I know nothing about them.
Yeah, our Darkest Hour for 3 CP to get back up, and then our Noble Sacrifice to force a blow up if he needs it. So yeah, we'll see.
I love Imperial Knights, man. I'm that guy. I'm sorry.
I wonder if a knight gets killed and then they use in the Darkest Hour, does it still act as full bracket because it's the same battle round?
You'd have to check the wording, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I don't think the knight's ever removed, so I believe it will do. So it'll blow up and just be like, I'll get back up. I'm still hungry.
Yeah,
I'm still high on oil.
Lay it down, don't they? I think it says on it before it takes its last wound.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, so I believe it'll still act on its full wounds during the charge and the fight phase. So. Tom does have a pile of CP remaining to the, 11 CP remaining from Tom. I'm not sure on that one. I'm not sure on the timing. So while we go and maybe find out, and I think I'm going to go for a week because I am busting, everyone. Thought I'd let you know. We're going to have a quick update from Tank, the roving reporter, to find out what's happening at the other top tables.
Hello, everyone. Exciting news from the floor. One of the favourites to win the tournament, Anthony Chu. He's having an absolute humdinger of a game against James McKenzie. That's Anthony's flyer spam versus James McKenzie's GSC. Traditionally a terrible matchup for the GSC. However, Chewie made a bit of a misplay in his backfield. James McKenzie was able to get rock saws into the backfield, successfully charge and hug a support weapon. Chewie counter-charge with his Ravagers to try and clear the rock saws, which are quite squishy, whiffed. The rock saws killed the Ravagers, and the game we have now is it's close on the scoreboard, evenly matched. Chewie just has a Farseer on a bike left on 3 wounds, and if James McKenzie can find a way to kill him, he'll sort of boots on the ground Chewie, so what looked like it would be a one-sided game has turned into a hell of a game there, so I'll keep you updated on that one. Malik Rubio against Boris Mitchev, Imperial tank gun line against Orc Met gun line with a Relic shock attack gun. There's an Invicta Warsuit survived for first volley of Orc shooting, and he's just charged and killed a Met gun and managed to tag a couple in combat so they couldn't shoot the next turn. So he also managed to kill 10 looters just through sheer weight of fire. He killed the Grots first that were stood in front, just a small unit of 10, which was perhaps a misplay. And he's gone on to take 10 of the 15 looters out, which is quite big. So Malik has kind of sacrificed his Invicta warsuits, but he still has all 3 Caladius. He still has both tank commanders. So I think there's still a game there. Boris still has boys, so when there's boys, there's a chance. But nice play by Malik, and perhaps looking slightly in his favour now, despite going second. Brian Pullen with the Tau triple Riptide list against Mike Whitley's Ultramarine Successor Brigade. Real sort of first turny kind of game, a real shootout, 2 very shooty armies. I'd say it's perhaps slight advantage Marines. All 48 of the shield drones are now dead. The tower down to 2 Riptides and 2 commanders and an Imperial. So they've still got all their big hitting units left, but they've lost a lot of their durability. The Marines have quite a lot of units left, quite a lot of bodies on the table. However, only a Contemptor Mortis Dread with 4 las cannons that can sort of seriously threaten the toughness of the Riptides, but it'll be interesting to see that one, how it plays out. If the Riptides can save the day, or if the Marines are just going to run away with that one. Martin Bush with the Orcs against Marcus Hinson with the 3 Knights. The shock attack gun whiffed once again, so Marcus is still on 3 healthy Knights, and he was just about to take his second turn and see if he could do some damage this time. Patrick Sanfilippo and Stephen Box in the mirror match with Marines. Patrick Sanfilippo has the edge now, definitely. Still got 2 repulsors and Gilman left. Stephen's now lost his Leviathan and his repulsor, but he's hanging tough. It's still tight on points. He's playing the mission, and he's sort of advancing his characters and aggressors towards the midboard, trying to sort of line up charges for a bit of a last stand in the middle of the table. Nick Nanavati with his GSC against Richard Watkins Knights. Richard now down to 2 Knights. The screens have collapsed. He failed to get back up with the one that died. Nick's 14-6 up on points, and as I left the table, one of the Knights was being charged by about 13 Aberrants and a Patriarch, while the Demo Bites were about to throw demo charges at the other Knight. So not looking good for Richard there, and kind of how you'd expect that matchup to go down. So I'll go back to the floor and particularly keep an eye on that Anthony Shue and James McKenzie game, see if James can hunt down that Farseer on bike, and I'll send you back to Mikey and Elliot.
And there we have it. Thank you very much. Lots of love in the chat for Tank. Are you having a great time, Tank? Yeah, that's good. He's loving it. The chat are loving it. They want Tank to stand a little bit further back to see his short shorts next time. Everyone wants to see the short shorts. You have to do like a nice stroll on when you come on next. So we are live at the London 40k Grand Tournament in London. I've not done that in a while.
London, the capital.
The capital
Down
of the
here
UK.
at the capital.
The largest event in the UK. One of the largest in the world. One of, not the, but one of.
It's a major. It's a major.
It's a big major. It's a major. In the IMTC, a major is over 60 players. This is over nearly
major.
400. This is 400 players in this event. This is the semi-final. This is round 4 of 5. We are covering 2 games today. I'm looking at the wrong table that we were supposed to cut into. This is Ramsey versus Tom. That was Manny versus Mark.
The wrong game. So really quickly, 2 units of intercessors fired into that knight that was on 2 wounds. Our closest knight, our buddy.
Which was here.
It died. Oh, really interestingly, Tom has chosen not to try and get it back up.
Wow. Okay.
He's just let that knight die. Now, it didn't explode, so it is just dead.
That's interesting.
Yep. That's all I've got really going on that table.
Okay.
Just a quick update for that one. There's lots going on table 1 though.
So what we'll do, just have a quick rundown of what's actually happened. Ramsey is using the Primaris Horde over here. Tommy is using the Knights. The Knights have been blocked in for multiple turns in this deployment zone. However, Ramsey charged into some Knights, didn't manage to kill them or even survive or block him out. So Tom was able to consolidate and fall back over. So now Tom is close to the juicy Primaris Castle. So interesting play.
And I can tell you that those 2 Knights charged into that unit got 24 attacks between them and only killed 2 models.
What? Let's go to table 1 now. We got Manny versus Mark. We got
the headband has come off. Leighton's headband's off.
Tom is serious now. 24 attacks, 2 models
He's laughing as he's
destroyed.
rolling his dice, though. He's still having a good time.
It is tense.
So, table 1. So we've got this. It is a Razor Wing jet fighter because it's not a thick boy. Because Mark has no Void Raven bombers. Because I am a pro at Eldar now.
No, he also doesn't have any Razor Wings because they've just died.
So there was a bit of a conversation that they had in the movement phase. They decided that the fighter just stays on the board. Okay, so this one that's on the very, very, very edge.
This one, just here.
This one that's now Manny's head. So that boy, they decided he did stay on.
Yeah, the edge of the board does go a little bit further. We're just missing it, if you can see.
The grots at the back of the board have moved in order to try and block, but Mark doesn't have a lot left now. So unfortunately, that is looking unlikely.
Yeah, he's got a unit of grots here. He's got a unit of grots here.
Our command point was spent on the Harlequin bikes to give them their 3+ invulnerable when they advance.
Nice. Mark's shaking his head at me. He's not happy.
I can't remember.
He's smiling, but he's not happy about the result of this game so far. So I believe it's when they take a wound, they get a 3+ invulnerable. Or maybe it's when they advance. But the Skyweavers are gone now, so there you go. I think Elliot's going to tell us exactly what's happening. I'm just spitballing. We've had quite a lot happen on this table. We've got quite a lot to get through.
Oh my word.
There's loads happening. Let's go for the key points.
There's lots happening,
We've seen a main stratagem be used.
Yeah, so...
What's it called?
Black Cornucopias.
Yes.
Yeah, so Black Cornucopias allows them to... Well, I don't know what it does.
Actually, I'll tell you what it does.
Yeah, you tell me what it does.
So, if you've played Cultist or you've played Orcs, you'll have heard of the Green Tide.
Oh, okay.
So this is a very similar strategy. What you do is you remove a unit of racks. It doesn't matter how many's left in the unit. You recover the unit to its full wounds, or how many models was left, so 5 in this case, and then infiltrate it or deploy it anywhere on the board. More than 9 into many models within 6 of a board edge. So do you know where those racks have gone?
I believe it's this line at the back here.
So
yeah. So essentially, what he's doing is he's trying to stop Manny from being able to put that. That's a bomber because it's. No, that's a fighter because it's got 2 red spikes.
It's got 2 red spikes.
Come on, that's what we want. Progression.
Elliot is a pro Warhammer player after this weekend.
I said MEQ and TEQ yesterday, and everyone was like, "What? What?"
I know you did. This is game 16 and 17th competitive 40k game Elliot's watched in the past 48 hours. He's having a great time.
I'm a pro now. Oops, sorry, pushing your chair down. That's the teacher in me. Put your chair down, boy.
Stop leaning on your chair. You'll break your back. You break your neck.
So the Harlequins did move very quickly over to Manny's side of the board. They had options on either the Guardians or the Planes to shoot into them. In the Psychic phase, Shards of Light and Smite were both put into the Razor Wing in the middle. It was on.
Okay.
And they managed to do 4 wounds to it.
Nice.
But it's still alive. That is the Pick the Poison fighter as well.
Pick your
but
poison.
It's still alive, so not be able to do a lot there. The Death Guard also shot into it, but weren't able to kill it. In fact, in the shooting phase, all he's been able to do so far is to kill 2 Guardians on 1 bike.
Wow. Okay. Well, then we've just seen the end of turn 2. Manny scoring kill 1, hold 1, and Mark getting hold 1 and hold more. So the score is 14-7 to Manny.
Some shards of light onto that. The Harlequins moved into the group of characters in the middle, I think expecting good things. They whiffed completely, and and Manny's characters just started butchering the Harlequins.
Ouch. Okay. So it doesn't look like there's many Harlequins left. Sad day for Mark. Sad day for Mark. So yeah, so that is.
So 2 of those bikes are dead. Even with the 3+ invulnerable, we spent the stratagem on.
Yeah.
To move when they advance, obviously they move so fast.
Prismatic Blur.
Prismatic Blur, what a name. Yeah, so even with Prismatic Blur off, Eldar were doing 3 damage to them. So
yeah, exactly.
Tough turn there.
Really, really tough turn. So they're going into round 3 now. It's Manny's turn to move. So why don't we go and have a look at table 2, see what's happening there? It looks like it's Ramsey's turn. The score is currently 15-10 to James Ramsey. Tom got kill 1, hold 1, kill more. Ramsey got kill 1 and hold 1 and the bonus. I apologise. So they're on turn 3 as well. So both players are just moving into their turn 3. Both games are in turn 3. We're both equal. They've both just started to move. Tom has put his headband back on. That means he's less stressed, I think. Does that mean he's less stressed, Toby? Ask him.
Just running up on table 2 really quickly, there was a bit of a rules query.
Toby's being rubbish.
The squad of engineer grots moved from one objective onto the other. Okay. There was a quick rules query to see whether engineers still worked. It does. It doesn't have to be the same objective. It can be a different one.
Constantly holding an objective,
yeah, so they still score a point for engineers in that turn.
Yeah.
Someone said I leveled up in 40k knowledge.
Yeah. Valerie says this game is over. Do we think it's over? He's starting to move his intercessors back now. He'll still be able to rapid fire into the knights. But Tom is still holding most of the board now. He's pushing the castle back. We're going to get an update from Toby.
+1 to movement.
Tom's looks very calm and collected. Ramsey's just chatting away. Just going, I'm moving, doing this. I've got lots of yellow boys and I'm having a great time. Toby can get an update of how many wounds and knights have remaining.
He's just doing it. He's preempting you.
I love you, Toby. I think an hour and 10. It's 20 past 11. I think the round finishes at 12:30.
So just giving you a quick update here. The knight that is closest to the castle is on 9 wounds.
The one closest to the castle, so this one.
He's on 9 wounds, whereas our friend at the back here is on 12.
Okay.
So I've been told that the litany +1 to wound did go off. The +1 to hit has failed every turn.
Wow, okay.
And I believe that carries into his other games as well. I don't think he's really been able to get that +1 to hit off.
No.
So James, at the moment, looks like he's fanning out to try and get as much coverage on that board as possible.
And just move away from the knights that are getting closer.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah. It is a tough list. I mean, you just get the thing is with this list, it's just he has to keep chipping away with that bolt of fire because he just has so many shots, but no really heavy hitting weapons except for the eliminators. So just keep chipping away, relying on the AP2, relying on the failing save. But it's sixes to wound. That's the issue. So, also encourage you guys. Best on the scene by far. Loads of info. Get stuck into it. Well, Uriel Ventry, thank you very much for the very kind words. We are doing our best. And our best is all you can ask for. And if that's going well, then amazing. So thank you very much for tuning in, everyone. We've had amazing time this weekend. We've still got one more game to cover after this. Well, 2 more games at the same time, but one more round.
It's been fantastic, and this was kind of an experimental weekend for us. We're doing the 2 tables. There's lots of things going on that maybe we're sort of trying for the first time this weekend, like drawing on the stream. The overlays all brand new to us. I feel like we've gone from strength to strength, and hopefully we're only going to move on to better things in the future.
Yep.
So watch this space, guys.
Yeah, exactly. And thank you very much to 5 to 1, yeah, because of the +1 to win, of course. My apologies. The Sword of Dust, thank you very much for follow. So yeah, we're trying our best, so hopefully you enjoy, and thank you very much everyone for tuning in. You are all been amazing. Can you spray tank German green? Oh, like the Hulk. So, I say, talking too much, unupdated too little. We're doing loads of updates. That's all we're talking about. You cheeky boy. Or lady, I don't know. Let's have a look at the top down. Let's see how Ramsey's doing. I don't think there's... Like, as you can see, he's fanned out his castle now. His castle's just moving away. The eliminators are going up on top, so they can't get charged by the knight through the wall, because if they're within an inch of the wall, the knight would be able to charge still and be able to hit them in combat. How much contrast paint would tank need? Probably about 70, 80 pots worth, I think. So probably about £3 million.
Yeah. The problem is his surface area. He's got all those veins and...
Yeah, so the shading had worked really well, I
yeah.
think. Whereas on me, it just like boil over and then just run off. So just be a big highlighted belly. So Tank doesn't wear 2 thick coats. He only just wore 1 the other day. Tomorrow on the stream, which he won't be, he'll probably be naked or at least no t-shirt on. Mr. Scrivo from The Honest Wargaming is giving me some very luscious eyes. He's having a great time. Love you. So the inch of the wall business is when you charge into combat, you have to end, your model has to end within an inch of the enemy to be counted as in combat. If you're up against the wall, for example, let's do some drawing. If you have eliminators on the bottom level, up against the wall, so you've got, that's your wall, you've got eliminators here, here and here on the ground level, here and here. If an Imperial Knight charges up against the wall there and his base ends here, like so, you're probably going to be an inch of this model. That's going to be an inch, Elliot. And what that means is that the Knight will be made of a successful charge and be able to hit the Eliminators through the wall, because nothing says that you can't charge into a unit in the wall. The knight can't move through the wall, but he's still within an inch, so it means it can stand on them. So you've got to be really careful and get onto multiple levels. Nova Kane, thank you very much for hosting. Really appreciate that. So why don't we cut over to table 1? Have a look over there. It's been requested, but also as much as I love this table, I've got to be fair to both.
Yeah. So over here, Manny has brought his second group of, well, his third and final Guardian Bomb. They've been brought into play now.
Okay.
Now, interestingly, it looks like they're within 9 inches of the characters in the centre of the board. So Danny, obviously, we can't really get involved and query anything because we're impartial and to the side. But it looks like both players have missed that they might be within 9 inches.
Yeah, maybe they've just agreed.
Get a quick update.
But Danny's going to come tell us. Do you want to come tell us on the mic, Dan?
Yeah, so they've not measured it, and just from eyesight, from being at the board, these Guardians look extremely close to the characters that are in that terrain feature there. Mark's not queried it, I don't think at this point he's too concerned about it. He knows his stuff's just getting pummeled by all the Air Force Cheema. And yeah,
Not Conair today.
Not Conair. We've had Conrad and his Conair. We've got Air Force Cheema, and these Grots have been jinxed in Doom, so they're just getting pulled off the board at the moment.
Yeah. So I imagine because these guys know each other, I think they're probably playing within 10.
Oh, yeah.
They know that the Guardians can't deep strike within 9. It's not like Manny's going to go, well, I'm going to charge 9. It's only like 4 inches.
Yeah,
I think they'll probably just say, it's
they
9.
would say 9, and you can see from where Mark's hand is there. There's so much room there, so it's not as if it's going to be that much big deal. Manny could have just moved them back slightly. He would have still get all the shots off on the Grots anyway. So it's not a game-changing thing. It's not going to be something that would, affect the game at all, because Manny could just move those guys slightly back nearer to where Mark's hands are rolling those dice at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. So he's targeting this unit of Grots with them, is he?
Yeah,
the Guardian.
yeah,
So he does it. It's not like he's shooting these guys.
No.
And he's got the guns are 12 inches and one of them's 36 inches, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, exactly.
So as long as he's within 12 here and not going to be charging less than 9, so that's going to be 9 inches.
Yeah, that's your perfect drawing is.
I'm getting really good at it. I've been practicing. I've got a cool tablet that Elliot gave me, and I've been really rubbish with that. But just drawing with the mouse, been fine. I'm going to practice though, Elliot. Just
You
for
need to practice with the pen. I'm going to get back.
All right, man, you go back there.
Otherwise, I'll have it back.
No, not allowed. It's my cool tablet. It's a very good mouse mat. Where's my pen?
£80 mouse mat.
£80 mouse mat. Here we go. I can.
So
draw
you never
now.
get you anything.
Yeah. The problem is I'm not used to using a graphics tablet. That's the thing. I think that's it. Because you got to like hover above it, and you're like this. I'm not used to it.
No, because it should be that it only writes when you click.
Yeah, exactly. But you have to hover to like move your mouse, and I find that weird. Do you know what I mean?
It's
Give me a
soft.
look.
Have to practice. Get
You think
practicing.
I'm soft?
Get practicing.
So you talk of OP Marines, we've got Eldar Flyers and Knights still in the semi-finals. Yeah, exactly. So the current good stuff in the event, in the 40k meta, is still good. Like Dark Eldar, still got a lot of anti-marine, especially with Ravagers and Disintegrated Cannons and Razor Wings. They still delete Marines just like they did before. The things are Marines, they hit a lot harder now, but they still go down like a sack of bricks if they get hit with the right weapon. No one has drawn a hairy penis now. But I have drawn a smiley face. So that's all we're getting. But if I'm talking about this flyer and this flyer up here, and then I talk about a flyer moving that way, I'm sure you can use your imagination. What do you think about this flyer and this flyer moving that way?
It's going to be interesting. Let me get you some updates. So during the psychic phase, we had Dinks and Doom. I was going to say we've got Dinks and Doom going off, guys. They went into the Grots.
Dinks and Doom, you meant?
Yeah, so both of those powers went off. He did go for Guide as well, but wasn't able to get that off on the scatter bikes.
Yeah. We've just seen the Razor Wing jet fight get removed as well, but carry on.
Yep, I can tell you as well that the Grots are dead. Now, the Grots were the last engineer unit from Mark's list, which means he can't score any more engineer points.
Okay.
Do we know what killed the...
Justo, please. Thank you very much for follow.
The flyer,
Welcome
the
to
plane.
stream.
Do you know what fighter killed the plane?
Manny's full list can be found on BCP. We went through them at the beginning of the game.
So there's some dogfighting going on. It was one of Manny's planes that has shot down
probably one of these Void Ravens, to be honest. You know, the fact that he's got a Void Raven here, and the Razor Ring was just below here. You know. Jinx and Groom, a new Netflix adaptation. What is Manny's list, please? Got that copy and paste ready. Can't figure out my own list. Says an aberration. So there you go. You can see Manny just dominating the field. Does Danny, can we get an update of what Mark has left as well?
And while he does that, I can tell you it was... Are you ready? It was a Void Raven, and it was a Void Raven that killed the Razor Wing.
One of these?
Yeah.
Made sense, because the Razor Wing was up in this corner. There you go. I'm much better at drawing circles with this pen, Elliot, I will say that. I'm looking what I can do. Oh, I can draw in white there. There you go.
So the next plane is firing all of its guns into the last Harlequin bike just to make sure that they're dead. Most of the planes have been opening up into the characters and sent on the board as well, and done some major damage to them. It looks like we've not really got those characters. So the grots that were dropped in, not really the biggest issue as we discussed before.
Not really. Elliot, I've just learned something cool with this tablet. Look,
oh, yeah?
I can draw in red, and then if I press this button, I can now draw in blue.
And there was you being like, oh, I don't want to use the pen anymore.
Shut up.
There's a reason when people use graphic tablets and pens and not mouse.
That is amazing. I'm having a great time, guys. You're having a great time.
Okay, so now Manny's looking at killing the Shadow Spear that's in the middle.
Yeah.
I want to call it Shadow Spear.
This one here.
Okay, so Shadow Spear is dead. Mark's just taking it off the board. And
I apologize,
now...
that's not the Shadow Spear.
Yeah, sorry. And now he's looking at killing these racks.
Yeah. There are a couple of racks up in the corner, up here. We've got some racks which use black corner pines on
Death Jester.
Here.
Yeah, so Mark just... so in the L-shaped building we have Urian, and in the middle of the board we have the Death Jester. They're the two characters that are left.
So, Death Jester, Urian. And then a couple of racks, and is that everything? Is much else? Does that Mark have much else other than those two characters and the 2 units of racks?
So the top right corner, there's a Death Jester in that building.
Okay. Up here.
2 squads of racks as well.
2 squads of racks.
And there's a squad. And
then Urian.
So Mark also has to bring his last unit of grots in next turn, as it will be turn 3.
Okay, yeah, because it is battle round 3 and Manny went
so
first.
they're still up in the webway.
So there you go, that's that table. Let's cut over to table 2. We're probably going to get a bit of an update from Toby. But this is James Ramsey versus Tom Leighton. Intercessor Horde versus Imperial Knights with Thunderfire Cannons and some Admech Battalion. It looks like the Knights have made the charge. Yeah, so we've seen 2 Knights make the charge. It looks like the Intercessor Horde is slowly deteriorating. I think we're going to get a full update from Elliot once he's just caught up with Toby. And he's going to tell us exactly what's been happening on this table. The score is currently 15-10 to James.
I'm sorry, I was having a drink.
Okay.
So I've got some updates. So, that knight that was on 2 wounds...
Yeah.
Was targeted by... It was the one that was closest, so he's now dead.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get to that.
Yeah, we've done that bit.
Have you already talked about the knight?
Yeah, we talked that knight that was here that was on 2 wounds.
Just getting ahead of yourself, Mikey. Right, so the other knight that was on 2 wounds that was closest...
This one? This one's on 2?
He was on 2.
Okay.
You'll notice that he's in a different position now. And that's because the intercessors killed him.
Yeah.
And Tom brought him back.
Okay.
So at the end of the phase, he rolled a 6 to get him up.
Okay.
And then another 6 to put him on 3 wounds. So he actually came back with more wounds. And there was a space for him to just go slap bang in the middle on that objective.
Bosh.
I think Tom actually did shout yeet as he rolled his second 6.
There you go. He yeeted that that dice into a 6. I wonder what he would have done if he would have got a Kobe. So maybe he would have rolled a 7.
Apparently, yeet's for power and Kobe's for precision.
Exactly. So if he would have done a Kobe, he would have got a 7. So Toby's going to give us a quick update as well. It's interesting. Tom needs to deal with this horde super quick now. He's running out of turns, but he's obviously got one full night and then one on 2.
He's 3 points behind, I believe, going into.
3 point behind.
I've just been told he's only 3 points behind.
Well, he's going to get kill on and hold one, so maybe that's just because we've not added it on the iPad yet.
Yeah. But like Toby's just been saying, that Knights are a really swingy army.
Yeah.
One good turn, one Super Saiyan turn, as I'm being told, it would be enough to swing the game.
Yeah,
so if Tom can do a lot of work in this round, we could potentially see an upset.
Yep. So we're just going to update the score because James went first. They're going to get kill on and hold on. Oh, so the kill doesn't count because he gets back up, but it's just going to get hold one. Okay. Have you updated it on there, Toby? Not updated here. Cool. Okay. So we're just going to fix the overlay because it looks like it's just not playing ball. So I said we're just in Tom's next turn. So while he's doing that, I think we're going to have an update from Table 1. You be able to give us an update all about Table 1, Elliot?
Yeah, so the Grots have jumped in. They're now looking at a 9-inch charge. So the Grots are, yeah, we can see we've just been moved there, just been moving around. So they've moved in for a 9-inch charge. Now, a bit of a misplay by Mark in the last round. Now, the Death Gesture actually would have been able to heroically intervene, but he didn't do that. Now, he would have been able to get into the Warlock. He didn't choose, but he forgot to do that, so that's not happened. And now, the Racks that have moved in are moving up towards that Razor Wing. So Mark has... Okay, so he has used Black Cornucopia, Mark, and okay, so the Grots and the Racks have both made the charge, and now they'll be into the combat phase. So let's get an update from them in a second as to what goes on in the combat phase. See what you guys are saying, how planes are. Would the towers be broken with flyers in his battalion? He plays an he's not moving everything there. Yeah, so, I mean, I think planes are so sort of abrasive for people as well in 40k at the moment because we used to not really see any plane build lists in 7th. Full plane list is a very much 8th edition thing. So very different to what we're used to seeing, the people that have been playing for a long time. For instance, like Manny, Tom, those sorts of players, they would not have seen. So it is kind of, although it's kind of stale at the moment because we're all really used to it in 8th, in reality, it's quite a new sort of phenomenon. I mean, it's 2 years old at this point, but it only really happened in 8th edition. I don't go back much further than sort of 6th edition, so I don't know whether it was prevalent before, but I think it's a relatively new thing. Dark Eldar and Eldar, obviously, it's always going to be a bit of a tough game. Eldar have been in a good spot for a long, long time, and have always been sort of at the top of the tournaments. I remember when I first came in, in 7th. Sorry, just getting an update. So, something big happening over on the Age of Sigmar. All very excited about their wizards over there. Someone's maiden must have fallen out of a tower or something, I don't know.
Hello, Elliot.
Some magic-y things going on. So those Racks and Grots that did charge in before did manage to wipe out the Guardian unit, and that will gain Mark a kill. So, yeah, interesting.
Interesting. It's nice to see this table. I've not seen this table yet. This looks like Heathrow Airport.
Yeah, there's lots of flyers going on. I was just saying that Eldar flyers, whilst it's kind of like stale at the moment in 8th edition, they're a relatively new thing. Really. They've only really been in 8th edition. So I think people are always thrown off by it because they're always like, what is this? Why is there so many flyers? What's going on? And then that leads to a lot of stuff. It's kind of almost like the night lists in 7th edition, where everyone felt like as soon as they put them on the table, you'd always get people who'd be like, well, I can't even kill that. What's the point of me playing? And get really upset about it, rather than just playing the mission and just say, if you can't kill the enemy, play the mission. Yeah, board control armies still work really well. Yeah, like we were talking about before, Plague Bearers and Orcs will give a list like Mani's a problem because they'll just spread out to maximum coherency and cover all the board and not allow them to deploy anywhere.
For him to be anywhere, yeah, exactly.
So with that kill, Mark was actually able to gain the bonus.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So good turn from Mark. So if there's anything we can be doing better, guys, please do let us know. I hope everybody is enjoying the stream so far. So let's remind you, we're down here at the London Grand Tournament. Big shout out to Bad Moon Cafe for being able to get us essentially the equipment. They've supported us and sponsored us for this stream. We went down on Thursday. To see Bad Moon Cafe is a lovely, lovely place. We felt very well looked after. Great, lots of stock in there, which was, I was actually a bit confused as I walked in. I saw so many. There was like every single faction was represented. I was very happy because I think there was like 3 boxes of Death Company on the shelves, which you never see. No. It's a great venue and really, really helped us out this tournament. Has allowed us to run the 2 different tables, which obviously is something that you don't see and something that I think has worked really, really well, Mikey. What do you think?
It's been really good. Thank you, Kyle, for the follow. Sorry, I just had to go and fix the overlay. We had a bit of an issue there. We fixed it though, smashed it. We're getting good at this. We are professional, some would say. Some might say anyway. So there you go. So we're in round 4. We're round 5 for Manny and Mark now. Such a high lead for Manny at the minute. I think Mark's probably had it at this point. I think it's kind of like,
yeah, it's going to look tough. I mean, he did what he needed to do that turn. He got that bonus, and he also got the kill. Yeah, because he's got some Racks, managed to kill the Guardians. But it's a bit late now. He needed to do it earlier on. So yeah, exactly. I think he knew this was going to be a tough matchup.
He did. Yeah, he didn't like the look of it on the way in. Looks like he's not been able to deal with it. So yeah. What can you say at this point, really?
Yeah. So again, we're in one of those parts of the games where there's lots of discussions going on and lots of measuring. There isn't really much for us to be feeding back on at this point.
It's a bit of a mop up at this point.
Yeah, there's a bit of a lull essentially in what's happening.
Shall we cut to the table?
Yeah.
So there you go. This is table 2. This is Tom versus James. The Intercessor Castle versus the Imperial Knights. James tried his longest to build the walls as Imperial Fists do. To stop the Imperial Knights moving over.
We cut too quickly.
Okay.
We cut too quickly. I can tell you, well, there's no point in switching back over now, but Manny wasn't able to place the Razor Wing, and it's dead.
What Razor Wing? The one that's dead?
The one that's just been taken off, yeah.
So the
one that we can't see on the table anymore. He wasn't able to place it because of where Mark's put his things down.
Yeah.
And it has killed itself.
Apologies,
he does also get you pick your poison, because if you remember at the start of the game, that was one with the green dice on it.
Yeah.
So big play there. So Mark actually is now on 15 to 20. Well, it's 20 to 15 to Manny, but Mark's slowly doing a valiant effort, isn't he? He's not rolling over. He's fighting to the end.
He's gonna have 1 point for his kill more so far. Not kill 1 because that has to be done in his turn, but for kill more he's got 1 on the tally.
Yeah,
because he died. So there you go. So thank you very much to Wonka26 for the follow. Why don't we have a quick update from Tank about the rest of the top tables that are happening at this event?
Hello everyone, some news from the floor. So Malik Rubio is game against Boris Mitchev. That's still a game. Malik has got a 13-6 lead on the score sheet at the moment, so it's kind of appearing that whoever wins that, it might sort of ruin their overall points total a bit. The sort of MSU format of the Orc Army, it kind of poses the question, does Malik sort of have enough shots to get through all the small Orc units that are left? Although he should be getting sort of Butcher's Bill every turn for the rest of the game. There is 2 Caladius dead now, 1 Caladius left, the Punisher Tank Commander and the Relic Battle Cannon Tank Commander. So the Relic Shock Attack Gun is still in play. There's still a few Mech Guns in play, and there's still about 5 Looters in play. So it's all the boys are dead now, I believe, and it's just kind of a shootout with what they have left. And as I said, Malik has the advantage at the moment. It'll just be a case of if he can run away and build up a bigger lead on the score sheet with Butcher's build. Anthony Chu versus James McKenzie, that's been a hell of a game. It appears that it swung back to Anthony Chu's favour now. He managed the Farseer with 3 wounds left that was preventing him from being boots on the ground. Managed to escape and is now safely hiding in the back corner of the board. And James, both players totally out of command points now, so although James still has his Kellamorph on the board, he's not got any command points to fuel any shenanigans. The score is 25-23 to Anthony Chu, and they're just playing the last turn now, and I suspect that Chu will outscore James on the last turn. But again, it's another game where they've kind of ground each other into relatively low scores. Brian Pullen with his triple Riptide list against Mike Whitley's Ultramarine Brigade. That's been a real sort of fist fight. When I left the table, there was a Tau commander and a Riptide left for the Tau, and that was all. All the Marines had was some infantry left. The Marines had a 3-point lead and probably more units, but only infantry and nothing really to deal with that Riptide. So it's going to be interesting to see who finally comes out on top in that one. Martin Bush with his Orcs against Marcus Hinson. Marcus still has 3 knights left. The Gorkanaut has deep struck into play now. It's close on the score sheet. Still don't know really what's going to happen with that one. Apparently on Martin's last turn he forgot to shoot the Relic Shock Attack Gun, which was massive. But because they'd got so much further on into the combat phase, they decided it wasn't sort of fair to go back. So yeah, just a bit of a mistake there, which might cost him. I'd say Marcus probably had a slight edge in that one now. Patrick Sanfilippo versus Stephen Box in the Marine Mirror match. I think that's it's looking like that's Patrick's game now. Stephen has his Thunderfire cannon and some snipers in the corner. Just Marnius Calgar and his Smash Chaplain sort of lurking menacingly around the centre L in the middle of the table, but Patrick still has Gilliman, 2 repulsors, some characters, and his aggressors left. So I think that's Patrick's to lose now and not looking good for Stephen. Nick Nanavati, his game is finished. He got a 36-point win against Richard Gwatkin, which that big point win will put him in a really good position going into round 5 in the overall standings. So I'll send you back to Mikey. Oh, we might have Nick there as a special guest commentator. So I'll send you back.
Hey guys, there you go. So just a quick interview, in the middle of this round, because I think these guys are kind of just mopping up the rest of the game. So I'm joined by Nick Nanavati. How you doing?
Hey,
man?
how you doing? Good.
Yeah, you having a good day?
Yeah, pretty good so far.
So do you want to tell us quickly about your round 4 and how you're feeling about going into round 5?
Yeah, so I played Richard Gwatkin, awesome dude from Australia. He's playing 3 knights, which is one of my easiest matchups.
Yeah.
Basically, he knew what the story was. I knew what the story was. Basically, if I fail my charges, he's got a chance.
Sure.
I didn't fail any of my charges, so that's the end of that. I think we kind of talked it through after turn 3 when he had half of a night left and I was bringing in my rock saws.
Okay.
Yeah, so
yeah, just
that's the end of that.
absolutely mulch of the night. So you're using knights, and what else was he using with them?
He had a guard battalion with, instead of the loyal 32, it was 30 dudes and 2 tank commanders, punishers.
Nice. A solid choice, to be fair.
Yeah. So basically that would replace what a 4th knight could be.
Yeah.
And then he had the rusty 17.
Okay, so just having extra CP just to pump into those.
Yeah,
knights,
and
keep them going,
you would think the punishers are rough for me because there's so many shots, but if I do it right, I just don't get shot because I'm trapping his screens, and then it doesn't matter.
Exactly. So there you go. So you're on 4 wins currently.
4 wins,
going into
yeah.
round 5. Is there any matchups you want to avoid in going into round 5?
There's quite a few.
Yeah? Which ones are there? Like a couple of top ones.
It's
you want
not
to
that I
avoid?
can't win any of these games. It's that you need to smash all of your games in this tournament to win.
Yeah.
And I'm not in first place as far as points go, but I'm doing pretty well. All the top players are kind of killing each other, whereas I got the night match, so I kind of got an easy break here.
Bit of a jump up in the
Unfortunately, I
points
hit my hard match round 3. I got the Dark Eldar, and they took a lot of points off my score. But it kind of balances out now. But like if I play the Flyers, I can win, but it's not going to be big. If I play the Genesteer Cult Mirror, assuming James doesn't screw it up, it's not going to be big even if I win. If I play the Marine armies, I don't know the Marines that well, so I can't really say.
No, they haven't been out long enough.
They haven't been long enough to really know what they do, but I don't imagine it's a big win. Unless I hit something I can just hit with stop signs and kill, it's not going to be a huge win, and that's what I need. So most of the top armies, I think there's one Night Up player still floating around the top. Hopefully I get him. Otherwise, it's going to be a tough round.
So Tom, who's currently on table 2, is currently on 3-0. If he wins this one, he'll be going into 4. If he goes 4-0, you could end up playing Tom, because I don't know the score. The game is currently neck and neck.
Which Tom?
So this Tom here.
Oh, it's Tom.
Tom. That you played in the Invitational.
I would love a rematch. Although my game with Tom before wasn't really a blowout either, and he knows how to play it. So we'll see.
He's a really, really good player. So he's playing against the Intercessor Horde right now. So what we're going to cut back to that table.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for coming on, Nick.
Yeah,
appreciate
thanks for
it.
having me. Absolutely.
So we'll see you in round 5.
Cool.
So there you go. Quick interview with Nick. So let's cut into table 2 with Tom and James. Thanks, man.
Yeah, no problem. You see the comments.
So here we are. So it looks like Tom just has 1 night left with some rusty 17. James did have a chaplain here, which looks like Tom has removed. He's got a couple of eliminators just holding this objective, and then another eliminator's here and here trying to chip into the night. Hopefully we can get an update from Toby about what's exactly happening. But yeah, so the score is currently 17-15. We have fixed the overlay because that was a little bit delayed at the end of round 3.
The stream says I'm a fake Nick because I don't have a beer, so I'm going to go put my beer on that stream and then explain what I'm doing.
There you go. Nick, so you're not allowed to have drink beers on camera on Twitch, so we're just telling players to keep them offside. So there you go. Where's he going to put it? Here we go. It's going to happen. And he's gone. I'll find out from Toby. Let me just put a headphone in. I've lost my second commentator, that's all. Toby, can you quickly tell me how many wounds the knight has left, please? Toby! Danny, can you get Toby to put his headphone in, please? None of the table bosses are listening. They're too busy chatting to people. There we go. Come on, put your headphone in. I need your headphone in. Can you tell me how many wounds the knight has left, please? He's got 12 wounds remaining. Thank you. So a lot of the players are starting to hang around the streaming tables now because they're finishing. They're trying to find out who they're going to be playing next. So everyone's having a good natter. So it looks like on table 1 they're kind of rounding up the rest of the game because it looks like Manny's just going to clear up on points.
Sure, you mean table 2, Mikey, because that's the way we do with things in England.
I said table 1. Talking about Manny and Mark. So screw
I was
you,
being
man.
sarcastic because of the amount of times we got it wrong.
The amount of
I
times
say we.
You've
say
got
we.
it wrong. Time to get that whacking stick, yeah, exactly. So we're going to get an update from Dan from Table 1, so let's go have a look how that is going.
So I've just been told that Yorian has just been picked up, so now it's only got 2 units of racks left.
Okay.
So really into the closing stages of that game over there. Oh, and there's some grots as well at the back edge of the board.
Yeah. So it looks like Manny just finally clearing out with the sky lasers. Just clearing up the racks and the couple of characters that are left, and then the grots to finish off with all the flyers by the looks of it.
Right, okay.
Okay, so let's cut table 1. Table 2. Damn, you made me get it wrong now.
Yes, there we go.
Table 2, we have a single knight left with Endless Fury. Do you want to tell us what's happening on this table, Elliot?
Yeah, so one of the knights, as you can see, is dead.
Yep, we only have one remaining.
Yeah, so he spent a command point, Tom, to try and get it back. Didn't get it back.
Ouch.
Then spent another command point to re-roll that. Failed again.
Ouch, that's 4 CP.
He's now on his last command point with 1 knight left, so he doesn't have enough to bring that knight back. If it dies, he has a 5-point deficit. So, but he still has a lot of secondaries to score, so...
He does, to be fair.
Yeah, so he could go right down to the wire, this one.
I think the CPs will get updated. If not, we've dropped out of Wi-Fi and then the overlay's not updating, but we'll find out in a second. He's got 1 left, yeah.
Whilst on the other table, we're really wrapping up into the closing stages now.
Yeah.
So
we're just going to prove to the stream. Let's cut to table 1 quickly. You'll be able to see the beer on the left-hand side. That is Nick Nanavati's.
yeah.
He was complaining because he said it wasn't the real Nick. He didn't have a beer in his hand.
I believe he was upset that the bar was only opening at 10:30.
Yeah.
I think he managed to get a beer at sort of like 9 o'clock.
Nice.
Yeah.
What a lad.
I think he's reasoning. I think he said it's something like it's 2 a.m. in New York, right?
Yeah, so they should start all right at that time. So it looks like we have about half an hour left of this round. Watch Nick knock over. Well, I mean, in the Invitational, Nick did spill beer all over this side of the table, so maybe you can now spill a beer all over this side of the table as well.
Yeah,
just to make.
He's going to deploy. Now, interestingly, I think beer is quite a fairly costed unit, so not like the gin, which is
the gin was
undercosted,
and it deep strikes within 1 inch.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect ambush with the gin.
Yeah,
it's a bit scary actually.
Kind of like Green Tide, but gets to go wherever it wants. Spirit Tide. So that is table 1. It's currently 24-15. That is, I think that's going to be a bit of a. That's going to be end. I mean, Manny's won, but he's not got like a massive lead. It's not like a 38-10 loss win. It's 24 is pretty low score in a win. So let's cut over to table 2. Have a look what James doesn't have a lot left of the intercessors now.
And also the eliminators have just died.
Yeah, so we've just got a couple of intercessors left, really.
Tom has also been able to put that remaining back up to 13 wounds.
Wow, okay.
So safely in his middle bracket.
Stratagems to be able to heal them just a little bit. So back in his full.
Oh, he's in his full bracket at 13.
Yeah, he's in his full bracket.
Yeah, because
it's healthy there.
24 down to 13, isn't it? So
it's going into 20. It's 2020 going into turn 5.
Wow.
It's not updating on stream, but I will make sure that is sorted. And when Toby's updated the score, if you could bring the iPad over. Toby, bring the iPad over. Keep your headphone in, man. I keep talking and then I realise you're not listening. So it's a super close game, this one.
So just while you're doing that, Mikey.
Do you want to move table?
I can move table, don't worry. You carry on doing what you're doing. So I will now pop over to table 1, where I can tell you that the Death Jester did fall back, shoot, kill a scatterbike, and just charged back in.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. So Manny with a big score. He's maxed out his secondaries, and he was also able to kill more and hold more.
Wow, okay. So 26-16.
Yeah.
So 5 on
Big
the primary.
points
Maxed out all of his secondaries now, so this is where he starts climbing with the points.
So this is vengeance for Manny, right? Losing first turn in the Invitational.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I said at the start, didn't he? He's hungry for blood.
He's hungry for blood. Just like Reese Robbins' repulsor was when it blew up and did 19 wounds to his own army.
So yeah, coming into the closing stages of this game, 26-16. Mark does not have the units at all to pull this game back, so it's a foregone conclusion. But like we've seen, everyone's good sportsmanship. No one's conceding. Everyone's fighting out to the last end. No one likes a quitter, right? So we're just taking this one down to the very last closes. Yep. Yeah. So even I've just got feedback from the table about it's really nice to see this sort of high-level competitive play and still be so friendly. I think 40k can quite often get a bad reputation that's full of very gamey, math hammer, win-at-all-cost type players. But in actuality, you come to these events and you meet the guys and you get out here and, yeah, they might be using some of the most broken lists in the game, but they're having a laugh, they're helping you. Manny helped Mark through this, and Mark is obviously, it's just a friendly backwards and forwards, it's a two-way street. We've not got people who are sort of going, right, there you go, slapping the chess clock and then standing back and saying nothing for 30 minutes while their opponent does things. It's very backwards and forwards, and it's lovely to see. Yeah, getting an update from table 1, so bear with me. So we're in the shooting phase. Yeah, so Tom was able to get the kill one that he needs. He's still got the Rangers at the back. Oh, he's killed 2. Okay, yeah, sorry, it's James's turn, guys. He has killed 2 units. The Rangers have got to sit at the back of the table. He still has his Thunderfire cannons as well, and the Knight in the middle. So I believe it looks like he's going to try and fire the Eliminators using their, I believe it's the rounds that don't need line of sight. I'm not too sure what they're called, but Mikey's joining me again and will be able to tell us. And he's going to be firing those at the Vanguard at the back of the board who are holding that back objective. So if we could just switch over to table 2.
Let's click over to table 2. The overlay should have updated now.
So we've got these Vanguard. At the back. I'm going to draw it. Are you ready? Everyone ready for the drawing? They are here. Oh, is it not working? Please work. I want to draw. I want to draw on the stream. Mikey, it's not working.
No, it won't just draw like that. So we're just having a problem with the overlay. I've fixed it now, thankfully. So we're going into round 5. It is 2020, which is super close.
Oof.
The CP, Tom has one left, not 6. But there you go.
Ramsey needs a big turn.
He does need a big turn.
He's firing those Eliminators at the Vanguard that are at the back of the board. So the Vanguard you can see there on the lip of this building at the top, firing into the Vanguard at the end. Yeah.
Eliminators, Vanguard.
Yeah.
It's currently round 4 of the main event, but it's battle round 5 in this game. These two players potentially going into round 5 with a full 4-0 win. Going into the final. This is the semi-final. We have one more game after this for you today, and then we hopefully be able to see one of the top winners. The event has going to have many winners at the end of the event, but they're going to be doing multiple brackets. So who wins 5-0, who's going to win at 4-1, who's going to win at 3-2, who's going to win at 2-3, and who's going to win at 1-4. So who's the highest players in each of those brackets. And each one will get a prize.
So that Knight is now acting on its full bracket. He's used Machine Spirit Resurgent. He did also get a command point back, so he still has a command point.
Okay. What time will round 5 be on stream? It should be on around 1:30, I believe.
Now, obviously, James Ramsey got only 2 points in that turn.
Yeah.
Now,
round 5 is going to start in an hour and a half.
Tom is guaranteed the point for engineers. There's nothing James can do at this point.
Nope.
And so
That's a
all
point.
Tom has to do is get kill 1, and he'll be in the lead.
Yeah, exactly. Kill 1, hold 1.
So really
Which he's
close
probably
here.
going to be doing. That's the thing. The knight's probably going to die eventually, but by the time we do that, Tom just needs to score enough points where Ramsey can't catch up.
I'd take that knight for the win. Do you know what I mean? Kill my knight. It allows me to focus on the objectives.
Yeah, exactly. Because Ramsey only has Kingslayer left to finish, but if he does kill the knight, he will get Kingslayer. That's the issue.
All he's going to do is tag a unit, give them the bad touch, and he's going to negate so much shooting next round.
Yeah, exactly. So, it's close. It's very, very close. It's a very fun game to watch.
Yeah, that knight is really powerful at the moment. He's got 12 wounds left. I don't know whether Ramsey's going to be able to do that in combat. I mean, worse things have happened at sea, but it's doubtful. So that means that the knight will be able to fall out, shoot, and then charge back in.
Exactly, which is not what he needs. It's really not what he needs. He needs that knight to go down, but that knight is just having a great time. He's having a ball, some would say.
Alright, so the Avenger Gatling Cannon did open up and kill 6 intercessors. That leaves Ramsey now with 6 eliminators, 4 intercessors, and 3 characters.
Wow.
Yeah, so not a lot. So, considering that Tom was sort of whiffing and having really bad turns early on, this has become a really interesting close game.
Yeah, this is, as I said, I think Ramsey's giving it his all.
Yeah.
But if Tom can survive for long enough with
Feedback
those
from
knights,
the table. Toby's just said he'll put his neck out and say that he probably thinks that Tom's going to win this one.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Survive long enough, delete most of the horde, and then go in for the kill. The castle is definitely not. There's not a lot left. I mean, there's a couple of eliminator units here. There's an eliminator unit up here. Then there's a couple of intercessors and a few characters around here, but there's not a lot left compared to Tom, who still has a knight. He has some rangers over on objective 5, and he still has Sergeant Cronus and 3 Thunderfire cannons up in this top corner. So very, very interesting. I have faith in Chucky. Hashtag Ramsey down.
Sorry.
So super, super close. We're going to get an update. Let's get a side view so we can see what's happening. See if we can see what's happening.
So just quickly, just on that table. On the same table that we're on. 4 wounds on the last intercessor in that squad. He took them all. He made all 4-up saves.
Wow.
So he wasn't able to kill the intercessor squad.
Wow, okay. Well, that was with the Ironstorm missile pod, I presume, because that was -1. Or the Flamer.
Yeah, correct.
So the Ironstorm missile pod, the Gatling cannon, all instantly killing all these Primaris guys.
Toby's just finding out for us what's left to shoot on that table. Oh, shooting's done, so we're into the combat phase now.
Yep, it looks like he's fighting some characters. Bosh, both gone. That's probably going to secure Tom Kilmore.
So that's the eliminators. So
Cronus was
got the kill.
riding in a Whirlwind Hyperius. There we go. So yeah, the knight clearing out, holding that objective, but also giving Tom lots and lots of kills. So the score currently 23-23.
23-23.
They've both scored 3 points. There's only 1 turn left. Oh my god!
So Toby's going to give us his expert opinion from the board.
Hi guys. One second, I need to mute myself because I can hear myself. Okay, what might be the swinger here? A lot of people write off old school. This might be the prime example where old school comes into play. Tom has a potential of scoring 3 points in this final turn just from a single secondary. If Tom can get a kill 1, hold 1. He's already maxed his engineers now, from what I can tell. If he gets a kill 1, hold 1, and some points for his old school, it could be the difference here. Obviously, James only has Kingslayer left. He might get one Kingslayer point on that night, but then he has to do a lot of damage to be able to get kill more and hold more. James is looking at a potential of 5 points this turn, maximum. And Tom can get 5 points if he kills 1, holds 1, and finishes his line breaker. His old school, sorry. So all to play for still, going right down to the wire here.
So you can go up here, charge into this unit here if they stay still, get line break, and get hold 1. You could potentially get kill more at that point. You could get hold more at this point. So it's all in the bag. It's all to play for on this table.
Yeah, if that knight can hold on, it's going to be massive.
Yeah. Currently 13 wounds remaining. 12 wounds remaining. So this knight has 12 wounds.
And he has the one command point left. He got that back, which is important for Machine Spirit Resurgence.
Toby, if you can just make Tom spend 5 CP, because then it'll update on the overlay, so he'll have 1 left. He's currently got 6 left in our overlay.
So
there's 20 minutes left on the round.
If we want to flick over to Table 2, I can tell you a little bit about what's happening in the final stages of this game.
Table 1.
Table 1, yeah.
You wrote it wrong on the top, that's why.
It's written right all the other times. It's because you kept leaving me, Mikey. I got really confused and sad. So, at the moment, Manny is looking at scoring big. So, obviously, he doesn't want to table. Sorry, I'm getting lots of looks from the table.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so Mark could easily be tabled, but Manny would need to farm him for points. Now, you can easily, in this tournament, go 5 wins and not necessarily win the tournament. There's going to be lots of people on 5 wins at the end. Well, not lots of people, but there's going to be a big group. So...
Manny, the thing is with this, is Manny...
apparently there's lots of big plays happening on this one. But what I will say is that Manny's essentially trying to get the most points he can out of this game.
Yeah, if he tables him, he'll get 4 points a turn, but if he can get the bonus as well, he'll get 5 points a turn. Here we go. This is it. This is the play. James
1 point
Ramsey.
so far in James. James has managed to get Kingslayer.
Wow, okay.
Just enough damage there.
Kingslayer. This is the play. This is James Ramsey battling it out in his final turn. They're currently 23-23.
So they're playing for primaries now.
Ooh. He needs to get kill 1. He's going to get hold 1 by holding this objective. He's currently holding this objective here.
Intercessors and the 3 characters, and they need to kill that knight that has 9 wounds.
He has 9 wounds remaining.
Crazy things have happened, so it's all still to play for here.
Yeah. So let's go back. We want to go back to table 1?
No, I'd need you to talk so I can go.
Okay, sorry. It's interesting. A couple of saves coming in. Looks like he takes a wound. He's down to 8. Oops. So how many wounds does the knight have remaining?
It has 7 wounds remaining.
7.
Yeah, they've just done 2 wounds to it, so it's down to 7 now.
7. Ooh. If this knight dies, that could be it.
James has finished his turn on 25 points.
25 points.
I managed to get hold 1 and Kingslayer.
25.
Didn't manage to kill that knight.
No. Toby's just going to update the overlay for us, like a boss. So I imagine Tom's going to spend his final CP.
For Machine Spirit Resurgence, that's what I'd be doing right now.
He needs to work out how he can win. He needs to score 3 points. Kill 1, hold on, will score him 2, and kill. If he kills a unit this turn, he'll get Last Strike. That'll win him the game.
Yep.
He just needs to kill a unit. That knight needs to kill that unit of 3 intercessors. So these 3 here. Wow, what a game. This could be it. The knights go take over.
So he's going to get...
Here we go, saves coming in.
If Tom can kill 1 unit in this game, he's going to win, right? He's going to get hold more, he's going to kill 1. Kill more.
He won't get kill more.
Will he not get
he will. He will get kill more. I apologise. Yeah, he'll win by 2 points at that point. So Tom needs to score the most amount of points so he can go.
And final strike for old school as well. So 1 unit worth a lot of points.
Yeah. But also, if Tom can do much more than that, then he can try and get more points to go higher in the event.
There's a unit of 3 intercessors in front of that knight. So everything I imagine is just unloaded into that.
These 3 boys. If not, you can charge them though as well. So
yeah,
he's going to be quite safe in combat. Start on 7 wounds.
Yeah. So the Marines that everyone's very upset about look like they're going to lose.
But the Marines won because there's 3 Thunderfire Cannons and Sergeant Cronus in this army, so everybody wins. Everybody gets a medal.
So
Here we go. Is this the Gatling cannon? Endless Fury.
Endless Fury firing now into this unit of
Endless
intercessors.
Fury. Here we go. Freeze to hit. Sixes explode.
There's one intercessor left. Is taking Endless Fury on the chin.
Ooh, one. Oh my god, that is like 9 wounds, 10 wounds maybe.
He's got to make all them saves.
Here we go.
11 saves.
Here we go. Save them all, Ramsey.
Do it.
Save them all.
Do it for Don.
They're dead.
Oh, and there's the game. There's the handshake. Big ending play there, but Tom Leighton.
There you go. Wins by
managed
at
to do
least
it.
1 point. We are going to get the final score. And there
He
we
scored
go.
big. I think he's scored 4 there.
4 points. Kill 1.
So,
hold 1.
I
Kill
think it's-
more. Last strike.
I think
And
it's
that's
27 to 25 at the end,
I
but
think
Toby's
it's
just going to
27.
confirm the points for
There might
us
be a
now.
couple of other ones. Because he's not going to get Linebreaker. He's not going to get Warlord. But he's going to get... I might even get Hold... Oh, no, he's not going to get Holdmore either. So, yeah, it's going to be 4 points he scores there.
So about 14 minutes left in this round of Warhammer down at the LGT.
Yeah,
Open.
that is 27-25 final. That is the score. Tom will be going through to the final round on 4 wins. So we have one more game that we are still covering. It is Manny versus Mark, Eldari versus Drakari with Harlequins.
Yeah. Now I can tell you that so Mark's been rolling hot and he's feeling no pains.
Boy.
He still has 2 units of racks left in this game. Now, obviously, it's 33 to 17. Manny's doing what he needs to do. He's scoring as many points as he can.
Yeah.
He's been able to max out all of his secondaries, so he's just playing for primaries now.
Just playing for them primaries, yeah. So, I said if Manny would have tabled him last turn, if you table in ITC, what happens is you score 4 points for the primary for every turn that's not played. So
we're going to send out Toby on a rescue mission to find our tank, find our lost tank, and then hopefully we'll be able to get you
Toby
in.
could do the interview, if not. Yeah, because Toby was watching the entire game. So he'll be able to give us a full rundown of what's happened.
Well, that was a fantastic game.
That was
I really enjoyed
fun.
commentating on that. I'm sure you guys in the chat have enjoyed it.
Yeah, obviously we've had those players on already this weekend, but they've both been fantastic, an absolutely epic game. The Primaries Horde doing quite a bit of damage turn 1, taking out Croesus' tank, doing some early wounds nice and early, got all the knights were wounded down to 14 to 16 and 22.
Yeah, I believe there was a point where they were on 12, 9 and 14 respectively from
exactly.
right to left.
Which is super good from James. But there you go, in the end, they bit the dust. They did not, they got they got beat by the Knights. That's what I'm trying to say. They got beat by the Knights.
Yeah.
So the Knights will be going into round 5. Yeah. So why don't we have a quick interview with Tom and his headband, and James and his Primaris
and
Horde.
just as we're going into this interview, I can tell you that the Manny game is over.
So there you go. It's 37-17 to Manny. So Mark is out of the runnings for the win. So let's have a quick chat to Toby, Tom, and Ramsey.
Hello guys, welcome to the post-game interview. We're here with Tom Leighton, the victor, and Ramsey was just talking to someone at the table. But no, great game right the way down to the wire. Amazing game. It's one of the best games that I've watched from the stream personally. We just need to move, shove to the left, get on the camera. We've had over 10 games on stream here, guys, and this has been the closest one by far, right down to the wire in the final game. I'm really short, Tom's really tall. Okay, Tom's got away. So while Tom's getting a chair, we'll just check in with James. How do you think the game went, James?
It kind of went how I thought it would go, in terms of it was going to be about, my aim against Knights is never really wipe them out. I don't really have enough firepower to wipe them out.
Yeah.
I didn't play. I made a few little mistakes in the mid game, and that's where it kind of cost me a little bit.
Okay, like what?
So, for example, the chaplains came out, and the idea with them was to push up and try and get the bonus point. And unfortunately, I kind of didn't measure it properly because I had the 6-inch pile in.
Yeah.
6-inch consolidate. So my aim was, I knew Tom was going to heroically intervene into my squad that was in the middle there, and my aim was to charge, and then, because his other knight would be the closest, I'd pile and consolidate, and it would get me onto the objective.
Onto the bonus.
And then it would give me the bonus, and I think it would stop Tom getting hold more that turn.
Yeah, that was one of the points Tom was running on to get.
I don't think I was getting hold. I think I was
Just to stop him get. Yeah, exactly.
So I just didn't measure it properly. So when I did my charge, I just kind of put him there. I didn't think I need to be the whole point of him doing that was just to swing round.
Yeah.
I need to be a bit more careful with that. That was only one thing. I think I had pretty good luck at the start of the game.
Okay.
You
went super sane with those intercessors.
Yeah, they rolled really, really well. Tom didn't roll that well on the saves. No. And it was just kind of being it's always going to be like on those like 4+ rotates.
Yeah, for sure.
It's very close.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tom played it really well. He did the right thing in terms of just rather than sitting back like a lot of people do with knights, he has to just go to get into combat, and that's the big thing.
So we've had lots of love from your list on the stream. Lots of people are very interested in how you managed to work out to play the exact same list. Do you have any comments about your list and the reason why you brought it to this event?
It's just a lot of fun. It feels to me like a marine army in terms of it's
absolutely. It's like a company, right?
Yeah. And I mean, it is a bit slow. It's not the fastest army, and it does have the issue with units on this hammer and anvil deployment.
Yeah, for sure.
Really,
Like the engineers, they were safe all game, right?
Yeah, like normally like eliminators can pick them up, but on hammer and anvil it's really tough.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, a lot of people rely on the thud guns now, don't they, to be able to do stuff like that, but you've got pure infantry.
Yeah,
great stuff.
Which is where the Imperial fists. Their bonuses are all about the infantry.
Yeah, infantry orientated.
The cover save, the exploding sixes, they all work on the bulk shots.
Yeah, absolutely.
So kind of trying to
great stuff. So Tom, the victor, how do you feel like the game went?
He ran out of intercessors.
He did run out of intercessors.
That was about it. I mean, with your strength 4 shooting, it is quite hard for you to grind through the knights, right? So it just shows quite how bad a matchup it is that you got quite lucky in the early turns and you still couldn't grind through the knights. Because even though I lose knights, I'm still able to come back with the Tyrannus and come back and keep shooting you, and I'm so difficult to remove, right?
Just say one thing. I think if Tom had gone first, it would have been a blowout. I think Tom would have been. Yeah, I think me going first gives me a chance to get Grey Shield on, and then it works because not only does it work in my turn, when he's killing me in his turn, I'm proccing on the Ancient, getting more shots.
Exactly.
And I don't have that, and it also gives me up the board and to hide on it. I think Tom, if he'd gone first, could have just moved up and just killed me.
Absolutely.
And you were using quite aggressive Grey Shield as well, because you were using Crimson Fists, which meant that every 6 you hit was 3 hits. But equally, you could use Iron Hands, which means you get a 6+ feel no pain, so you get to shrug off one of the things.
The issue with Iron Hands is you can. There's one orange squad don't have it, and the eliminators and the other guys don't have it either. The infiltrators, so you can kind of pick off the bits.
Batman-y!
Have you done your interview?
No. That was it. That was your interview, yeah.
No, that was it. That was it.
That's it. Batman-y! So, have you guys got anything else to add to the rest of the game?
No, it was really good. I hope Tom gets a good. I really hope Tom gets a win the last game.
Oh, that's very gracious of you.
Don't forget someone nice to play.
From being the table boss, it was a great atmosphere for the entire game. These guys know each other very well.
We play a lot.
For sure.
But we actually don't play that often in tournaments.
No, we play
It's always a weird one when we play in tournaments because the game changes slightly, but you guys maintain the friendly atmosphere all the way through. Pleasure to watch you both play. We'll throw you back to guys at the desk.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Let's go play some nice.
Yeah, we finished a while ago. You just weren't listening.
Sorry about that, Toby. I completely missed that. So there you go. That was the semi-final of the London 40k Grand Tournament. 2 of the awesome games commentate over. Manny taking the win, Tom taking the win, going into the final. But I'm joined by Tank. Hi, Tank. You all right?
Are you okay?
So everyone was missing your luscious biceps in a vest.
Oh, we're back.
So
we're back now.
Everyone's been saying that you were wearing a full suit on Friday, that you wore a t-shirt yesterday, and now you're in a vest today. So if we were streaming, what would you wear tomorrow?
Maybe topless.
Maybe
if it was
topless.
demand.
There you go. So subscribe to patreon.com/Hellstormwargaming to get the premium tank snap. So the premium tank Snapchat, yeah. So Tank, going to tell us quickly rundown of what other games have happened?
Update from the floor. It's shaping up for a really exciting conclusion to this tournament. Malik versus Boris. That it was real back and forth early doors, but in the end. Turned a corner and Boris came out with a 30-26 win.
Wow, really, really good win there.
Yeah, I think Malik's got he's got a lot of shooting, whichever way you look at it, but it's very high quality shooting, so he's not got that much to get.
Does it deal with the hordes?
The Orcs got so many small units, it's kind of like he's having to shoot Caladiuses at 40-point smasher guns and things.
Right, okay.
And it's
just a waste.
Yeah, it's not good efficiency really. Malik played it cleverly, but they both really wanted first, and Boris got it. So that's the story there. Anthony Chu and James McKenzie ended up 29-27 to Anthony Chu.
Wow.
So Chu he's ended up getting good points there, but yeah, it was a shame we didn't put that one on the stream. We actually looked at that one for the stream, and we sort of thought it could be a blowout for Chewy because it's such a bad matchup for the GSC. But James played his balls off.
Wow. Okay.
Managed to. Chewy said it's the closest he's ever been to being boots on the ground with that list.
Wow.
And Chewy's like widely regarded as the best flyers player in the world. And
James gave him a run for his money.
Yeah, he
made sure he held on to that title with
get in his
both
backfield,
hands.
and there was just it was like hide and seek with the Farseer with 3 wounds left.
Wow.
But,
Okay.
yeah.
Amazing.
So, a bit of one that could be a bit of a sneaker actually. A bit of a sleeper. Mike Whitley with his Caradrons, which are beautiful.
Yeah.
Which he's running as a pure Ultramarine Successor Brigade.
Okay.
He actually pulled out a 34-point win against Brian Pullen's Tau.
Wow. Okay.
That's
good.
So the overall points rankings are hidden, aren't they? So people can't see. So the competitors can't game the system essentially. But he's going to be up there on the top tables, I would have thought.
Wow.
He's sort of come from nowhere. The only one that's still going on that I don't know about is Martin Bush with his Orcs and Marcus Hinson. That one was super close going in, and they were just playing out the last game, but they'll be really on the clock, playing right till the death. So
there's only 4 minutes left on the clock in a minute, so
could go either way. That one still. Patrick Sanfilippo eventually ran away with it against Stephen Box.
Okay.
26-13 win for Patrick there, so he progresses further. I can't remember. I think we discussed
We've gone over
Nick
Nick versus Richard, so obviously Nick took the win there.
So as we said, it's we've got a number of good players who are all on 4-0 and all have good points.
Yeah.
It's I think who wins this GT will come down to who gets the best pairings for their army.
For the final game.
Because it's it could be the case that the top table players push each other into like a narrow win, a narrow result either way, and it could be someone on table 4 or 5 who has a big blowout win, who kind of sneaks it. So it's quite. Although I know it's better to have a 6-round tournament, so you're more likely to get a true winner.
Yeah.
But it's also quite exciting that people can come from nowhere and sneak
and
in.
leapfrog and submarine right into the win. So there you go. So there's the full update. So it is now lunchtime. That was the semi-final. We're going to be back with the final. We're going to be streaming 2 of the top tables. Yeah. 4 people on max wins at this event. 2 of them going through to potentially become the champion of the LGT. Very exciting stuff. So go and take a break. Go and grab yourself a drink. Get settled down at 1:30 in an hour for the final. We're going to run an ad. And thank you very much for watching. We've been Hellstorm. Tank, you've been great. You've been fantastic, and hopefully we'll catch you in an hour. See you later.
Soon.
See you later, boys.